Hello everyone! Hello! Welcome to our first episode of our Masks mini campaign. I am Simon at Wandering DM, and my headset is about to die. That said, while I plug myself in, I just want to thank all of our sponsors here at Wandering DM. Mage Press, the makers of D&D supplements such as Dark Matter that we play here every Tuesday. Check them out at store.mageandpress.com, and while you're there, use code WanderingDM to get 15% off anything that you want to purchase. Our second sponsor is Found Familiar. Oddly enough, I do not have a Found Familiar coffee on my desk at the moment, but I will rectify that later today. Found Familiar are makers of excellent coffee. You should try it out if you go at foundfamiliar.com, and you can use code WanderingDM to get 10% off your purchases. And if you order for $50 or more, you get free shipping to the continental United States. And lastly, our third sponsor is Dice Envy. You can find them down below if you click on the panel. If you want to get your shiny math click-clacks for your new character, look at all of their cool dice that they have and get the one that speaks to you the most. Before we go around the table and introduce ourselves, I just want to introduce myself tonight. I will be playing Adam Cho, also known as Vigil, an 18-year-old beacon. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And you'll get to learn about this sweet baby over the course of tonight. So let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, who you will be playing in this campaign. And I will go clockwise from myself on the Twitch overlay. So the next person will be Deirdre.
Counterclockwise. Hey y'all, how are you doing? I am at Deirdre Donlin on Twitter, Praxgorth as for you, as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat, and tonight I'm playing Alcestis, our doomed baby child.
Up next is Cleric.
Hi, I'm Kat. I am a Cleric of Cord, and I am playing a chameleon who has the transformed playbook and that clue. Sort of. But not really.
We will come back to our GM in a moment. Pope, tell us who you are.
Hey everybody, Pope here. I'm getting to play Max Milliken, also known as Harrow, the protege. I am so excited to be here. You have no idea.
And to wrangle all of these rowdy teenagers in the streets of Toronto is our great GM, Lily. Hi.
Hi, my name is Lily, and I'll be playing all of the other characters that are in this game. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Just a Little Nerd. Oh, and on TikTok, because I just joined that today. So if you're ticking and talking, I'm there.
So that said, please take us away.
All right, so it's been about a month since the team has gotten together. If you were here for our session 0, you will know that they have quite the intricate backstories, each individually, and they overlap and intertwine a little bit. But the main event that brought them all together was the day in Toronto, Canada, when a demon portal to hell was opened up underneath the CN Tower. All kinds of hell spawn fled loose in the city, and these teen superheroes found each other by rounding up some demons and killing them off. So it's been about a month since that incident, and they've been on and off investigating these occurrences. Still haven't quite pinpointed who did it or what, but luckily Harrow's mentor, the Sorceress Supreme Strega Nocte, has been on the case and popping in and out of their lives as she's investigating this matter. She has also granted Harrow a hidden base that is an beautiful, sprawling, kind of older mansion. It's got sunrooms and libraries and all that beautiful things. And she has left her manservant, Varun Patel, there to keep an eye on them, cook for them if they need it, and basically be the adult. So It's the weekend. What would all of your characters be up to on a Saturday afternoon?
I would probably be in the library researching the myriad different hells within the tomes, trying to figure out precisely what hell was opened.
That has been a matter of research for some time now, as it's hard to pinpoint. There are so many hells in so many different cultures, and the demons that you had fought that day, you couldn't really pinpoint them to a specific culture. It's like they all sort of just spawned out of, Hades and Dices and all of these different demon realms. So you're getting a good amount of reading in, but you haven't been able to find anything too precise yet. Chameleon, I know you've also been living at the manor, the base, with Harrow a little bit. What do you think you're up to this Saturday afternoon?
Well, she only just moved in within the last week. She was the last of the group to give in and move into the base. So she's either hiding down in the basement in her room, just kind of maybe got the headphones on, listening to the music. If she's not there, then she's in the indoor pool with her with the lights all out, so that she's just kind of relaxing in the tub or relaxing in the pool, just kind of floating, because it's the one place that she can be free, doesn't have to be all covered up, hide who she is. She can just float in the pool.
It's a nice life floating in the pool, and as you're floating there, it's like a warm spring day, so it's not too hot but not too cold, and you can see from the corner of your eye, you can see into the kitchen with its floor-to-ceiling windows, and Varun is in there, and he appears to be busily preparing something. He's running around a bit more than usual doing stuff.
She's probably not paying much
Sorry,
attention to him unless he starts to come towards her, and then she just flattens up against the side of the pool and just changes color and holds still.
Yeah, he's not bothering with you today. He's running around doing something. He seems to be quite busy. Alcestis, where are you at?
Probably just walking back in the door, because it's spring, means it's in season, which means that even if you didn't have a game today, there was practice. Probably like kicking her cleats off at the door, though, because she's nice and isn't going to mess up the floors. And she doesn't spend all of her time at the mansion, mostly because her parents wouldn't let her. But she spends a lot of time there.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I would probably be in the same boat if I was 17 and had a mansion that I could hang out at most of the time. So today you had softball practice in the morning. You get into the mansion. Ahead of you is a wide, big staircase that leads up to the second floor, where the library and the bedrooms and the studies and all of those fancy rooms are. To the right of the staircase, you catch a glimpse through the open door into the kitchen, and you see Varun is bustling around in there. Varun is a 5'9" Indian, brown skin, wavy black hair, young-ish. He's not quite like an adult. He's probably like 23, and wearing his customary sunglasses, as he always does.
She'd probably stop at the door of the kitchen and need any help.
When you say that, he turns around, and you can't see his eyes because of his dark shaded sunglasses, but you get the feeling that he's sort of scanning you up and down. I'd imagine you're probably still a little, there
are probably grass stains, maybe some dirt, probably a lot of dirt, depending on how many times she had to slide into the bag. Cleats down. Always slide cleats down.
His eyes do that up and down thing, even though you can't see them, you can sense him doing that, and he just goes, "Oh, Alcestis, you're gonna have to go upstairs and get dressed or something soon. The Sorceress Supreme is on her way here. I don't know where the others are, but I'm just trying to get a big lunch ready so that we can all sit down and have a chat. Seems like she's got some important information."
Cool. I'll go take a shower. I'll be back. And she pulls her phone out and she starts texting like the group chat and be like Chameleon and Adam and Harrow, even though Harrow doesn't answer the phone. She's like, and apparently we're having lunch with the Sorceress Supreme. ... Cool. I have to get dressed up.
Varun just goes back to like, you know, juggling 5 different pots on the stove. There's all kinds of crazy smells and steams coming into the room. It all smells amazing, but he is obviously very distracted and busy. Adam, where are you at?
It is a Saturday, so that means that Adam is in one of the bigger rooms of the mansion. Not his bedroom, but definitely maybe like somewhere in the basement, a room that he's turned into his own personal gym.
There is a gym.
Oh, there is a flat-out gym in it. Oh, great.
I mean, it's the Sorcerer's Supreme superhero hangout. Of course there's a gym. In the basement, we'll say.
Then he would be listening to K-pop while practicing his martial arts with his phone propped up somewhere, recording the whole shtick as he's training shirtless. He is in the process of opening up an Instagram account, so...
So he's just getting that content ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. As you're like moving into your next transitions, you glance over at the phone to make sure that it's still recording, and you see that you have a text message from Alcestes.
Oh, pick up my phone. What does it say?
Alcestes?
Apparently we're having lunch with the Sorceress Supreme. I guess I'll have to get dressed up for that. And Varun doesn't like it if you don't show up after, take a shower.
Heading to the shower. BRB.
All right. Harrow, you don't even use your phone. You gave them these cards that are really cool, like telepathic cards, and they never use them. How do you feel about that?
Ever so frustrated. Like, the cards are there to be used, and they're so much more convenient because you can just, concentrate, and all of a sudden you have two-way communication. Why this thing runs on batteries? Batteries run out.
Yes,
they're
but
unreliable.
so long as you don't give me a card that can also record what I'm doing in landscape mode.
What is landscape mode? I'm sorry, I haven't been on this plane of existence for at least 2 years.
Like that.
You want a 3x5 card?
No, I want... that would be too complicated. Just... I'll use the card when I'm with you. Just... Sure.
But when you're with me, I can just talk to you.
No, I meant... I'm going to take a shower.
Bye. Actually, no, you don't need a ticket. Here. And just snaps his fingers, you're clean.
You just took away half the fun of taking a shower.
I thought I was saving you time.
Well, yeah, but then I don't get to sing.
I am so confused right now.
That's okay. I'll go get dressed. Or can you snap your fingers and then get me dressed?
That's a bit... Last time I did that, somebody was very cross with me. I wouldn't try it yet.
Good to know. I'll go get my clothes.
Apparently undergarments do not like being teleported onto an individual quickly.
Can be uncomfortable.
Oof. Yeah, remind me not to ask you to dress me up.
Awesome. So Adam, you turn left at the top of the staircase and you head to your temporary room. You still have a room at your grandma's, but you kind of bounce back and forth like Alcestis. So Harrow has received the message. Chameleon, you're still chilling in the pool. I'm assuming your phone isn't with you in the pool. What would you like to do?
She'll hear the phone vibrate, and the only reason why the phone goes off is because one of the group is sending a text. And there's like a wet squelching slapping sound as a tentacle comes up and feels around for the phone. And she holds it up, looks at it, puts it back down, slaps around next to it, finds the card, which is now soaking wet and kind of half dissolved, like when you run it through a washing machine a couple of hundred times. And she holds it up. She goes, "Is it still working?"
Yes, you're a little garbled. I'll just have to... There. Add the card's more solid.
Okay. So, lunch... Do I have to?
Strega's rather strict. The last time I didn't show up for a meeting, I was a rabbit for a day.
That would be an improvement for me.
I am learning not to comment with the first thing that comes through my head. This is a lesson that we are learning today. I would still be there. If nothing else, I know Varen's been really busy trying to cook a really good lunch, and he gets really sad when we don't show up.
By the way, she's holding the card not so you can see her, but so it's kind of like over the pool, because if she wants to end the call and she's not happy, she can just drop it back in the pool. She does that with her phone too, but it's really hard to use a phone with tentacles. I can't eat at the table, right? Never mind. And she just slaps the card down. There's wet squelching as she gets dressed.
Deck just regenerates the card, especially upon my direction. Never mind. As he closes his book and then just levitates to the proper shelf, slides the book in, and then just glides back down, cloak billowing, and then gets into his day slippers, and then shuffles off towards the kitchen.
All right. So you all take about 20 minutes getting yourselves together and ready, but after about 20 minutes, ever so subtly, the ground just starts to shake a little bit. The whole house is just vibrating ever so slightly, and you hear a big boom coming from the basement, and you know that the Sorcerer Supreme has arrived, because these are the sounds that happens when she shows up places. And with that sound, you all head in the direction of the sunroom / dining room. Normally it's just a sunroom, but on special occasions when Strega is visiting, Varun will deck out a beautiful, white wrought iron table with all of the nice chairs. And it's really quite impressive how he gets it together in such a short amount of time, but it looks like something out of a fairy tale, with the glass windows all across the ceiling and the ivy crawling up the walls, and then a beautiful banquet, a brunch buffet, in fact, all across the table. Varun is standing in the back corner of the room, just his hands behind his back, standing basically at guard, but waiting to serve anyone if they need be. And at the head of the table is Strega Nocte, with that stern yet elegant demeanor about her. She has curly, dark brown hair, slender but still strong looking, and definitely that strength comes through mostly in her eyes as she watches you all enter. As you enter the room, why don't we give a physical description of each character, because I don't think we've actually done that this session. So who would be the first one to show up on time?
Yes, please.
Farah.
Yeah, he's there. He's not dressed to the nines. He's still in his constantly in need of repair green cloak. It has been scorched. It has been iced over. This thing has seen him in and out every day. He refuses to get rid of the damn thing and just keeps finding new magical spells to mend it. He's in black slacks, day slippers, ever so slightly levitating off the ground, and in his Miskatonic University t-shirt. Go Squids.
Yes. And you take your appropriate seat at your mentor's right hand. She nods at you as you enter, seeming not displeased that you didn't dress up, but sort of a bit of an indifference. She's used to touting you around with all of the glory and getting you all dressed up like a son that she cherishes. But you being more casual today, she seems to just sort of take note of it and continue on. It seems as though the rest of the team is tardy as usual.
I think Alcestis just came back from practice. I know Vigil was downstairs doing something with the gram, doing that hashtag content. I don't know what any of that means.
And at that point, Chameleon will come squishing in, dressed as she always is, in a wraparound cloak with a kind of like it's an oversized sweater with a very deep hood. She's got like a bandana that's pulled up just under her eyes. You can kind of see her eyes glowing a little bit, kind of because they're golden. You can kind of see them a little bit inside the hood, but she is dressed in an oversized hoodie, loose like cargo pants, with her feet stuck into unlaced boots and black gloves on her hands. And it's obvious that the clothes are damp. And just kind of like that faint, wet, squelching sound as she just comes and she just doesn't acknowledge anybody. She just walks over, takes the seat at the furthest seat away from the head of the table as she possibly can, and then just sits there.
Ah, Chameleon, how nice of you to dampen us with your presence.
Wanted to be a rabbit, thought about not coming.
Well, we can always arrange that later, but unfortunately there are some other matters that we must attend to whenever your other teammates will show up. I swear, that Alcestis girl is always hitting the ball with the stick and running after it. It's so mundane.
I'm thinking about that. Alcestis walks in and she's not dried her hair, and so she's just tightening it up in tightening it up into a braid. It's very long, curly, thick, dark brown, very tan, particularly now because it's in season. So she looks, with her dark eyes, it's, very Greek looking. And she has, she's very deceptively thin because she eats a lot, but she trains a lot for sports, so she's almost always hungry. And she loves being at the mansion because she doesn't have to share a bathroom with her brothers.
There's 4 bathrooms here. I'm guessing it's probably
every room, with the exception of certain, has, yes.
See? And she just kind of slightly hears that comment from Strega Nocta and just smiles and says, pleasure to see you again.
Alcestis.
As she sits very daintily in the middle of a couple seats down, in the middle of the table, so that she can kind of carry on conversations with everybody.
Yeah, it's not a super long dining table. It's one of those medium rectangles. So there's 3 seats on each side. Strega's at the head, and then Chameleon is at the very end at the 3rd seat, and Harrow is up next to Strega. So you're all moderately dispersed through it. So the one with no powers is the one that's last to show up. Harrow, will you fetch him or send him a card message or...
Okay. I think I've got this down now. Okay, I think I can see him. He's on his way.
And
Doth the feet accelerate?
at
Make
that
it
point,
to your very date, and snaps his fingers, and then all of a sudden his shoes accelerate.
I come running, apparently. As I try to hold onto my hair. I say, Harrow! What? You're gonna mess up all of my... Took me
Snap
ages.
my fingers, he stops, like, stuck to the pole.
Oh, hey, Mama Noctis. You would see coming in, a young Asian American, man with, hair parted in the center, the very much 90s protagonist haircut, a bit wavy, jet black hair. He's right now just wearing a white t-shirt, and black jeans and running shoes. He's not in his costume or anything.
She looks not super impressed at the name, but I'd imagine you've been calling her that ever since you met her. So she just, there's like a little twitch at the corner of her eye, but not much other than that, as she just nods to the table for you to sit down.
I sit.
Well, now that we are all together again, we will enjoy this wonderful meal by Varun momentarily. But first off, business. So, I'm sure that you all have been diligently researching and looking into the incident that happened last month. Very good. As you know, there was a portal open to hell. Who did it? I still am not sure. However, we do have some further information. I've been poking around the courts of the Seelie and Unseelie, and it turns out, very interestingly, that someone has gone and created a copycat of Harrow's deck. Now, this means a number of different things, but it seems as though this person is claiming to be the guardian of the deck, even though we know very well that the deck is right here under my purview and Harrow's, but under my instruction. Now, this copycat deck, as you know, Harrow's deck, it opens up to the realms of thought and dreams. It transports knowledge rather than matter and material. This copycat deck, however, they must have created it with some other form of dark magic that was not able to navigate the delicate channels of the realms of dreams. And thus, I surmise that that is how they ripped open a gate to hell instead of a gate to the dream realms. Somebody has this deck, and somebody is claiming to be a guardian when they are not. I've been trying to track down who this person is, and all I keep coming up to is that they are located somewhere around the Eaton Center. You know, that large building that has all of the mortals that come and they purchase various goods and items and spend time there.
Yeah, shopping mall.
Yes, whatever that is. So, I am not going to go to a, what is it you called it?
Shopping mall.
A shopping mall. I am not going to go to a shopping mall. Varun is not going to go to a shopping mall, but you're all teenagers, and that seems an appropriate place for you. I would like you to go there and investigate and try and find who this person is that has the deck. And when you find the deck, it must be destroyed.
Do we have a budget?
A what?
A budget. Like, I'm gonna go to a mall.
A credit card.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're gonna be at the mall. We need to, like, blend in, right?
She just still has this look of, like, not quite confusion, but almost like
Money.
dissonance. Varun steps up from behind her and he just like whispers something in her ear, and then she's just sort of like waves at him, and Varun nods and says, "Yes, I will be providing you all with a budget. You will have access to my card. Just don't go crazy on it or anything.
Nope.
I don't need you all buying the new iPhones and just snacks and whatever."
Not apple.
Not apple.
I mean, we'll just... Yeah. We'll act like teenagers in a mall. Right?
Sounds
I
good.
think she kind of like smiles a little bit and she's like, you will be teenagers in a mall. It's about time you all had some youthful indulgence and interacted with your peers in a mortal environment. So,
Chameleon is very glad that her face is covered because the growing look of horror that spreads over it as Strega keeps talking is pretty hard to miss.
she has no idea. She senses none of it. She just starts to pull some bacon and sausages and pancakes onto her plate. And she just keeps talking and says, yeah, she's like gossiping about like Sealy Court people. And, oh, I ran into your little friend Petal the other day, Harrow. She was doing well. She asked about you and, this and that.
Harrow tries to like focus on his plate and not turn 20 different shades of red right now. He's failing.
Everyone notices Harrow turn red. Well, what
You
do
okay,
you
bud?
eat? Varun created all of this. You might as well fill yourselves up before you go to the mall, and then you won't have to purchase so many nutrients.
With his mouth half full and food spilling out, Vigil will turn to Mama Noctis and say, "Oh, you definitely underestimate the bottomless nature of a teenager's stomach."
She doesn't really like flinch. It's almost like just like a blink, a very specific blink. And she replies, my dear, I underestimate nothing. And as you stare into her eyes, it's just like these depths of like years and power and like intensity. But then she just goes back to eating pancakes like a normal person.
I shrink into my chair.
Alcestis isn't looking, and she's kind of like turned towards Chameleon to like try and convince her to eat some more. She's just channeling her mother. It's what she does. But at the same time, she's got her, she's just waving her hand behind her and bringing the platter of pancakes closer to her. And lets her just kind of float on the air. Okay, so eat, and then we'll eat some more later. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Miriam looks at the plate, looks at Alcestis, looks at Varun, looks at Strega, sighs, picks up the plate and picks up the full plate and just starts shuffling out of the room. She's gonna go eat downstairs in her room. Yep. Slight squelching sounds coming from the still wet boots, and there's obviously a damp spot now in the what I'm assuming is Silk the Mask seat covers.
As you're like walking away and Strega notices the damp spot, she just sort of does one of these and they all like clear up instantly. And she says, we're going to have to get her some, I don't know, waterproof shoes, something. Maybe a little rug that just follows her around.
No, we just need to get her some new docks. It'll be fine.
Yes, add that to the list of things to get at the shopping mall.
Yeah, I've got a list. Don't worry. I'm organized and prepared.
She looks pleased at this, but Varun behind her with his like sunglasses eyes, you see his lips just turn down like ever so slightly, like. So you all finish up your breakfast and then you are about like 30-minute drive away from the mall. Is there any particular way you want to go? You can take the public transit or you can call an Uber. I don't think any of you drive or have access to a car unless you want to try and convince Varun.
No, I don't drive, I fly.
I mean, I think Alcestis does have a car, purely just to make, because it would be one of those things like, her mom would let her have a car because she's the responsible one, as opposed to her brother. So if they have practice at the same time, she can trust Alcestis to go home and like drive herself to practice and come back. So it's not a new car by any means. It's like it's a late 90s Ford Taurus or something like that. You know?
I was just thinking like the hatchback Volvo. Just because it's so safe,
Yes.
even in its old age. So should something happen, it won't happen to you.
Yeah.
Even though you're super. Like
exactly. It's like an inherited car. It's not that big a deal, but she's willing to drive people. And if they're, you know.
Chameleon just is so used to walking everywhere. She's been on her own on the streets for the last 2 years, pretty much. So after she finished eating downstairs, she would have brought her plate up to the kitchen and then just left out the back door and started walking. So if the rest of you are driving, you'll probably pass her at some point walking down the street on the way to the mall. Just very resignedly, just kind of walking.
Yeah, you probably have like a 20-minute, 15, 20 minutes head start on them. But yeah, they all pile up in the car and then you spot Chameleon walking up the road.
I would
Vehicle.
definitely try to bum a ride.
Driver picks the music.
fair enough. I probably have to ditch the cloak.
It would not be the weirdest thing I've seen, but it probably would kind of stand out.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be incognito.
I have room in my backpack. I'm bringing my suit with me.
I can do a simple veil and maybe shrink this.
He's walking
Not
around
in
to
the
back
car.
of the hatch.
Not
I'm
in
not
the
going.
car.
I'm not going to cast in the car. I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. No casting in car. But actually, no. If anything happens, I'll just summon it. There we go.
She's gonna drive, and she turns the volume up because it's now playing Hailstorm's Freak Like Me. And she's gonna pull out, and she knows that Chameleon has started walking, and she's like, okay, about here. And she's gonna pull over and be like, waiting, just as Chameleon walks, and pull up right next to them.
Yeah, and Chameleon just kind of hears the car. And she just kind of walks around to the back of the hatch, waits for the hatch to pop so she can climb in, close the hatch behind her.
Beauty. And you're all off on your mall adventure. Sorry, Alcestis,
This is
go ahead.
a vital question though. Who took shotgun? Oh, okay, Harrow took shotgun.
Adam is probably like Instagramming in the back seat or something.
Yeah, I'm like snapping pics of myself.
With his knees up around his ears because this is a Volvo hatchback and there's no room in that back seat.
No.
Yep.
I mean, Alcestis isn't tall, so if you sat behind her, she probably has the seat all the way up. But other than that, no, there's not a lot of room in this car. And she probably has the windows down and the music up.
Awesome. So y'all are rolling through the streets of Toronto, like literally any time in Toronto. There's traffic. You're not going particularly fast or smoothly, but the traffic's not that bad today. You pull up to the Eaton Center and you park the car using the credit card that Varun gave you. Are any of you going to try and be like discreet or like spend less money on the card, or are you just going like full out on it? Who's in charge of the card is the first question. Alcestis has the card. Okay.
Alcestis probably walked up to Varun and been like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'm the responsible one."
And he just stares at you with his sunglasses eyes, thinking about when you walked in covered in dirt and grass stains. And he just nods and says, "Yeah, you sure are the responsible one, I'm sure. If you spend more than..." I'm not too good with modern day mortal numbers of money, but if you spend more than I am unhappy with, then
I'll
you
keep
will
it
be-
under a couple grand.
That sounds reasonable. Adam, is that reasonable?
Oh yeah, Gren is nothing now.
All right. Yes, I believe there's like 25 grands on this card or something. So
Thank you
Ah,
very much.
that seems like a good percentage.
It's a word that was derived from the old word gram.
Ah, of
Do
course.
you know how a gram is a small measure of unit of measurement? So like a grand is
So a kilogram would be a much larger amount.
Yeah, you don't want us to spend kilogrands, that's for sure. Like we're not gonna spend kilogrands.
Thank you, Adam. You're a good boy. Alcestis, you keep him in line.
Of course.
Yeah, Varun has been spending a lot of time in the Sealy courts, and he's just a little out of it, you know. So you all pull up into the mall, and you park the car, and you go inside. It's a really big mall. So there's like 3 stories, and they all sort of like open up around and then into like the courts, and it's just filled with people. There's tons of like tourists, teenagers, adults, all of the standard Canadian stores that you would see. And of course, there are superheroes. Some of them in costume, some of them not. You recognize a few here and there as some of the bigger superheroes. How would you like to start your investigation into who has this copycat deck?
We started Journeys
Sure.
because she's almost thinks she can convince Harrow that Vans aren't shoes.
All right. You make your way over to Journeys, which is, for those of you who are not familiar with Journeys, kind of like a skater clothing store, I'll say. A lot of hoodies and t-shirts and whatnot. Actually, though, as you enter Journeys, you spot a familiar tall figure looking at some hoodies in the back, and you realize that it is your older brother, Dionysus. He's got like one of those really 2 V-neck shirts that's just come down. He's wearing some baggy jeans, and he's with someone who you almost recognize. Like, it's just a feeling of deja vu a little bit. A very striking figure, chiseled cheekbones, very pale blue eyes, and like this hair that's the color of honey, skin that's also like a dark coffee color. And as you see your brother talking to this person, that person like looks at you, makes eye contact, and there's just like this feeling for a second, but you're not sure who they are. Oh, and there's a sales girl that accosts you immediately as you walk in the store, like, "Hey, happy Saturday. We got a sale right now, 2 for $20 on the t-shirts. So if you need anything, let me know. My name's Abby." Or if they ask you at the cash who helped you, tell them it was Abby, and
Yeah.
I'll be over here.
Yeah, we're not going to screw your footfall. Don't worry.
Thanks, girl.
Harrow. And she pulls a pair of Chucks. Or, not Chucks.
Vans.
Vans. I said Vans. She pulls a pair of traditional checkerboard Vans. Slip-ons. And she goes, "Harrow, these are not shoes, but they are better than what you are currently wearing."
Okay. I may have been gone from these planes of this particular plane of existence for 4 years, but I know shoes and Journeys existed before I left.
Then Vans are what you're wearing.
I don't do shoes. Shoes get in the way. Shoes make me trip.
These won't make you
Converse.
trip, and you can kick these off. Yeah, we can get you some Chucks. Ooh, they have some really nice ones. Those are the new Marvel ones. We can get you Doctor Strange on your Chucks.
Abby's like, "If you need any sizes from the back, let me know, and I can bring them out for you and help you out."
Do I really need shoes?
Legally,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, if it's a legal
Legally,
thing, I will get shoes.
Abby's like, "Awesome. What size are you?"
Let's see here. I haven't had shoes in 4 years, so I don't
12.
know.
He's a size 12.
Amazing. I'll go and get that. Abby looks completely nonplussed about the weird conversation about not being on this plane of existence. Abby is a great salesperson who deserves her commissions.
Yes, she
So
does.
she goes in the bag and starts to look for them. And as she does, Dionysus and the person that he's with sort of like turn around at the sound of your voice. And Dionysus does one of those like brotherly head nods at you. Alcestes, how's it hanging?
You're
looks
not. Don't try and be cool. Mm-mm.
I'm like pretty cool, little sis. I don't know if you noticed.
No,
Got a
you're
collarbone tattoo.
Don't. You're not cool. You haven't been cool in years. And I thought we agreed that we weren't talk to each other in public if we didn't have to.
Hey, Dio.
Yeah, but hey, Adam. I'm not talking to you, Alcestes. I'm talking to Adam. Adam, my man, how's it going?
Slowly getting popular on the interwebs.
Oh, no way. You got Instagram, man?
Yeah, I started. You should follow me, definitely.
What's your handle? I'll follow you right now.
It's unchove who I am.
He doesn't laugh. He's just like, oh, awesome. How do you spell that?
Yeah, we exchange pleasantries.
Yeah. They're just talking back and forth. Chameleon, you notice as always, Dionysus just looks like so dreamy with his broad shoulders and his like dark olive skin and wavy hair.
She's about 3.5 feet away, kind of on a triangulated with all of them, but separate from that. And she's got her hands in her pockets, head down so that the hood, but she's watching him. And if you could see her, she would be blushing. Just beet red the whole time she's just watching him. And finally she's and she's looking at the person that he's with. Every once in a while, she's kind of looks over at him. Just kind of memorizing what they look like. Like, who is this person? Do I know this person? Have I seen them before? Are they familiar? And eventually, as he's talking to Adam, she's like, she figures, I'm giving up, and she's gonna head on over and start looking at the Converse high tops. She's looking for at black Converse high tops. If there's a sunglass rack, she'll be stopping and looking at sunglasses, because realizing that would come in handy. That way she can actually cover the eyes as well. So
Chameleon doesn't notice, but as you start kind of like walking away and doing other things, like Dionysus's eyes will like flash towards you as sort of like a recognition. Oh, that's one of my sister's friends, and kind of follow you for a bit, but then go back to his conversation with Adam. While Adam and Dionysus are chatting away, and Abby is trying to shove shoes on Harrow's feet, like, oh, do you like this style? Why don't you walk around a bit? Is that too comfortable, too tight? The person that your brother was with is sort of just left, like, standing next to you, Alcestes. And even standing next to them, you get this, like, sense of familiarity. Like, there's almost like this aura around them. And they kind of just have their hands in their pockets, and they're like, hey, my name's Q. Friends with your brother.
Alcestis, nice to meet you. Should I
heard a lot about
apologize for him?
I do a lot of apologizing for him myself, so I get what you mean. Did I apologize to you?
Don't know. Haven't met you before?
I get into your trouble with your brother a bit, but I mostly try and keep him out of it.
Good luck.
You're an interesting girl, Alcestes.
She's very disconcerted by this. Is like, who is this person?
Yeah, they always have this like enigmatic smile on their face, and you also just like cannot pin if they're female, male, like just a very asexual, beautiful human being. Always with this like white, grinny, toothy smirk, and they seem to have this aura of like anime boy protagonist that just is too cool for school. Would be the vibe that I described that as. And at that moment, they kind of start like walking towards the direction of the change room, and they turn back to you and they just say, I hope I'll see you around. Hopefully not around this idiot sometime.
Okay. Sure.
And they walk towards the direction of the change room, and as they do, one of the doors slams open, and out steps a girl that you and Chameleon both recognize. She's tall, about 5'9", slender, with a long face and like wavy, long, dark brown hair. And her eyes immediately turn like dart to Q and then dart to you. And she goes, Oh, Alcestis! Of course you shop here. I was just here because I was hanging out with Q. And she walks up to Q and puts a hand on their shoulder and she says, I was just here with Q, who is so delicious, but, you know, this isn't normally my type of style. But of course you shop here.
So nice to see you again. Just a quick question. Is her name actually Psyche?
I don't think we determined that.
I don't think we did.
I have all of my notes as her name is Psyche. But you know what? We'll just call her Cordelia George. Is her real
that works. That so nice to see you again, Cordelia.
Yes, I know. I'm just so beautiful. It must be a real gift for you to be in my presence.
A gift
Q
that
looks
never
very
stops
amused.
giving, apparently.
Out of
As she
everybody's
steps
line
out of
sight, Chameleon's finger goes up like this as she hears this. And it drops back down and she just goes right back to looking at the shoes, wandering a little further away.
How distracted am I right now?
Probably not that distracted, because as soon as Cordelia stepped out of the change room, Abby kind of like fell over herself to be like, oh, miss, how are all the things you tried on? And she sort of like abandons you.
Excellent. While Cordy is busy being all about herself and seeing Chameleon flick someone off, like, that immediately just makes Harrow go, oh, target. Because he's very protective of his teammates. They're his one connection to mortality right now. And just gives her a hard look. And he'll huff a bit. And then just this ever so slight stench just erupts from Cordy's clothes.
Interestingly, as you do that, the stench does come about, and it's there for like a flicker of a second, and then her eyes just dart over to you, and it's like they're boring into you in just like the briefest of moments. And she just sort of like does this little smirk, and then everything just sort of like disappears in a wave of like floral, pretty smelling scents. And she's just like, that was weird. Q, we should get out of here. These people are like very disrupting my vibe. Dinah, are you coming? Dionysus like looks up. He's like, oh yeah, we said we were gonna go and like, what did we say we were gonna do? We were going to go to look at Sephora because I wanted a new eyeliner. And he's like, yeah, eyeliner.
Hey, Dino?
Yeah.
You might want to call Mom. She was really concerned about you, and she had something to tell you. It was really important. She wouldn't tell me. You might want to call her.
Oh man, Mom is like always so about us ever since, bro got stuck in the portal of hell. It's like she's like all over my case, man.
Yeah, but do you want her to show up?
No. And he'll sort of like huff away and like pull out his cell phone. Cordelia and Q follow him, but Q, as they're walking out, Q kind of like glances over his shoulder at you and like does one of those smiles again. Very enigmatic.
she'll kind of smile back, and at the same time, she'll kind of like do that false smirk eye bat thing at Cordelia's back. It's like she's pretty sure she can get her mother will make sure that Dino doesn't spend any more time with Cordelia, and she didn't have to do anything about it.
Perfect. At this time, Abby is sort of like the store girl, is sort of like at a loss as Cordelia had left. And as Cordelia walks away, it almost is as if Abby like deflates a little bit and she seems to like sag, almost seeming like tired or exhausted. And she just goes, oh, well, did you like any of those shoes, or should I go get another size?
I think I'll take these, the current ones that he's fiddling with, on. But also seeing her deflate like that, his eyes just creep back towards following Cordelia, especially with the little ear exchange that they had, and going to consult the deck, thinking about Cordelia.
Cool. I'm gonna get you to roll and unleash your powers, and then tell me what that card is, because I can't see it.
What did you just pull?
What do you think he pulled?
I pulled the liar. 11.
Awesome. So you send your senses into the deck. From what you've learned from Strega Nocte, you know the deck acts as like a gateway into the realms of dreams and knowledge. So it's like it's opening a gate and like allowing knowledge to pass through to you. You pulled a card and you see that it's the liar, and you are immediately granted the knowledge that Cordelia she manifests powers with emotions. So she has people who are enthralled with her and people who hate her, but she can draw on power from both, and thus often has to lie in order to get either of those results. And you feel a deep sense of sadness and pity for this person. Like, she's a very, like, with that role, you know that she's a very like fractured and broken person, always trying to chase those two extremes of attention.
There's definitely a sadness there, but there's also just like teenage vengeful mind sorting through the many different layers and dimensions that he's been in, figuring a place to deport her. Going, what fits you? But that's just going to be in the back of his mind, just playing as he goes about buying these shoes and being concerned for the vitality of this saleswoman, going, you obviously have been manipulated by forces beyond your ken. How do I fix this?
Do you say that out loud?
No, that's just
okay.
the current internal monologue.
Cool. Yeah. She's like ringing you up at the cash, just sort of listlessly like scans the shoes. That'll be $60. You need a receipt. Do you need a bag?
No, I'll wear these out.
All right. Here you go.
Thank you.
She nods and goes back to like folding some shirts and stuff. Where would y'all like to head next?
I think Chameleon's actually going to kind of start wandering around off of behind Dionysus. As all of that exchange was going on and they left, I think she turned around and just started wandering, following the Dionysus and Psyche and Q to see what was going on. Because Psyche's bad news, and if she can, any information she can get is going to be helpful at some point.
So you start to follow a little bit behind and wander after them, and it seems like you're trying to understand more about Psyche or like her intentions. Am I correct?
And the whole relationship between, I mean, she's known Psyche for years because of school and everything. Q's an unknown. She's known Dionysus from afar for years, and as Alcestis' brother, Q's new. What's the dynamic here? Because Psyche seemed very overtly familiar with Q, which is didn't seem normal.
Yeah, it's not hard to sort of piece together. It seems as though Psyche is like flirting with both of them. Like she's likes being the center of attention. She has two very good-looking people with her. She laughs loudly. She flips her hair. She looks at other people as they walk by and sort of like flaunts her attention upon them. But following them, you notice that Q seems interested but sort of standoffish at the same time, and Dionysus is just like on the phone with his mom, like, Mom, I don't know, Alcestis just told me to call you. I'm just at the mall with my friends. It's fine, don't even worry about it. Just going on, and Psyche will try and like put her arm around his waist and like cuddle up to him while also like stroking Q's hair and just like playing off of both of them. And yeah, they just seem to be going around from store to store, window shopping a little bit.
So she's gonna find one of those like center planner things, and just where she can kind of sit and watch, and she's kind of just tracking them, but she's also can see the entrance to the store they were just in, and is waiting for the rest of the group to come out.
Perfect. So yeah, you're sitting like in the middle of, I'm gonna call it the courtyard because I don't know the proper name. And Journeys is gonna be here to your left, and they're kind of drifting over to the right.
Yep. So she's just kind of sitting there, like she looks like every disenfranchised goth kid ever.
Awesome. The rest of the team
heading out Journeys, trying to just see where Chameleon ran off to, and at the same time just going through like his own personal notes, going, invigoration spell, vitality spell, what would fix that? Like, just trying to think that, but also further back in his mind, like in the deeper, darker, vengeful reaches, going, Mab would have such a time with her. I hate Mab, but those two deserve each other.
Adam, as you walk out of Journeys, following after Harrow, your eyes kind of glance around and you see up on the second floor ahead of you, standing there is your ex-girlfriend, Dawn?
Yeah, Zhao.
And she's with some guy that you don't recognize. She looks like she's laughing.
Hey, I'm gonna tap Alcestis on the shoulder, and I'll be do you mind giving me a couple minutes? I have something at breakfast didn't
Ex-lover
agree with
or
me.
ex-friend?
What?
It's the only reason you would want to hide from someone.
I don't want to hide.
hiding.
I want to go.
Fine, whatever, go.
All right, sheesh. And
Don't die.
he's going to hide. He wants to get a closer look at who is this guy she's with.
Sure. So you like take the escalator up and you kind of like sneak around. How close are you trying to get? Like do you want to hear what they say, or do you just want to have a visual?
I want to have a better visual. Sorry. And I'll decide at that point, like, if I want to get closer or not, depending on what he looks like. Like, depending on my feelings.
Okay.
My gut feeling of him.
Yeah, so you come up behind them, and Zhao's back is to you, and so you can clearly see the guy. He's probably like 19 or 20. He's looks like a surfer dude, like Caucasian, blue eyes, blonde hair. It's like one of those short, spiky kind of hairstyles. Looks like fit. And now that you're a little closer, you recognize him as like he's not a superhero, but he's kind of like you. He's like a little bit of a vigilante. You've maybe like seen him a few times around, but he's like part of like a neighborhood watch. So he's kind of more like official, quote unquote, than you are.
I definitely want to hear.
So you get a little bit closer and he's just saying like, yeah, so it's really awesome running into you, and I've been such a fan of yours for a while, and I really, really love that the universe has brought us together like this, Zhao. Would it be okay if we went out for coffee sometimes? I just really want to get to know you better. And you can't see her face because her back is to you, and there's like a pause, and she's kind of like, well, I kind of just, I'm going through a bit of a transitionary period right now. But thank you for appreciating my work. I really try and do my best for my fans and my audience, and I recognize you too, and it's very cool that like coffee. He's like, yeah, just coffee, like no pressure, no big deal. She's like, yeah, like coffee would be nice sometime. I guess just as friends.
Shit.
And they keep talking, and you see them like exchange numbers and stuff, and the guy like goes in for a hug and sort of like wraps his arms around her. He's like, yeah, I'll text you, I'll let you know. And he walks away, and as he walks away from her, you notice that like behind him almost is a bit of a kind of like a ghost trail, like a bit of a glimmer or like distortion in the air as he walks away.
Okay. I will actually, once he's gone, I'll approach Zhao.
Like immediately after he walks away?
Yeah, like 5 seconds after.
How do you approach her? What do you
Casually,
say or do?
as if I didn't see her there. And I'll just almost bump into her. And, Zhao!
Adam?
Hi, it's so nice to see you.
Hi. Yeah, and she's like very red. Like she's very aware of who just walked away and like the timing of it, and she's just like, "Oh, yeah, it's good to see you. You shopping today?"
Yeah, buying stuff.
Cool.
At the mall. Because that's what malls are for.
Yeah. So, I hope you've been well.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe. I don't know. You.
Me?
How have you been? Yeah.
Oh, I've been taking time for myself. I've been really working on my art. I started posting things on Instagram. I made an art page, and it's kind of just like blowing up a little bit. But I've been good. I've been really focusing on myself and trying to, not be too lonely. How are your parents? Or, sorry, your grandma.
Oh, she's good. I spend a little less time at home these days because I'm super busy. But yeah, she's all right. We're
Super busy being a superhero, she says with a cold, ironic cock of her eyebrow.
Whoa. I mean, I thought you were not into superheroes, and yet, like, that guy, who...
That guy? You mean Tom? he's not a superhero. He's just a guy that, watches over people. And that has nothing to do with you. And why are you here following me in a mall and listening in on my conversations?
I'm not following you. I stumbled upon you. Pure.
You have no idea what you're talking about, Adam. I swear, you never listen. Everything is just about you, and he's just a friend. He likes my art. He appreciates me for me and not just as his girlfriend person.
I appreciated you for you.
As you're stuttering over your words, and while this is all going on, Alcestes and Harrow and Chameleon, what are y'all doing down on the ground floor there?
I was just about to go wonder where Vigil was and use my card to just at that moment, Vigil, what's your 20?
Alcestis just kind of puts her hand on your shoulder and says, no, because she's watching this happen. She goes, don't, no, he doesn't want your help at the moment, Harrow.
But where is he?
Dealing
Well,
with
he
a
just
complicated
points up.
relationship.
Sealy on Sealy relationship, or relationship between air and combustibles relationship? What are we talking about?
Well, I think air and combustibles might be slightly better than what's going on here, right, Chameleon?
Yeah.
We're talking Mentos in a Coke bottle.
So sticky, messy, but entertaining?
And violent.
That's the title of my sex tape.
And then as
Mentos in a
Alcestis,
Coke bottle?
No, sexy, messy, but entertaining. And sticky.
and as Alcestis looks up, Harrow just follows her eyes, looks up at the situation. Oh, that was the young lady that he left to go and help with everything.
Yeah.
And from the ground floor, you can now see that she is visibly upset. She's kind of leaning into Adam, and she's just pointing a finger and berating him. And all of your attention is on this moment. But then this goes on for about 5 minutes, and then you just hear an explosion from Journeys and a bunch of screaming as you can't really see inside the store because you're standing next to it, but just spilling out of the store are these two almost spider-like robot-like legs. And pulling out of it is so Dungeons and Dragons, the Driders that are half spiders, half human. Yeah, you see it's some kind of robot spider being, but the top of the body and the head, as it pulls out of the store and looks around, you see that it's Abby, that store girl, and she just has these her pupils have gone completely red, and the iris and sclera and everything, and she just lets out a this horrifying screech that just echoes. People start running everywhere. You see a few of the superheroes that were nearby, they start to try and calm down the crowd as everyone is just running and going crazy all around you. Dionysus and Psyche and Q are nowhere to be seen. What would you like to do?
Summon cloak. Just whoosh. I guess we're on.
Well, all right then. Do you want to call him, or should I just go get him?
If
Adam fully sees this happen.
I would
Yeah.
figure the explosion would be enough
Yeah.
of a sign, considering that's what summoned him the last time.
Yeah, Adam would basically put his arm in front of Zhao to shield her from the explosion, even though it's far away. And he says, "Shit, we'll have to finish this talk some other time, all right?"
That's what you always say. I hate this. We're not doing this again. We're never finishing this talk. Go save the world or whatever. And she runs away.
He takes the card and puts it against his ear like a telephone. And he's like, "I'm coming, guys." and he's
Chameleon-
going to go hide the change.
Yeah, Chameleon has stepped into, like, you know how in the courtyards in malls they've got all that fake shrubbery and whatever.
Mhm.
She's just kind of steps up over onto the ledge, steps into it, shrinks down, and then as she's kind of crouched down, and unless you actually know what you're looking for, she's blending in with her environment as she's kind of crouched down, moving low across the floor, almost kind of crawling like a low crawl. And you can see that there aren't hands or feet, that, like, from the elbows and from the knees. These are tentacles.
Mm.
And she's moving towards this creature that's just come out of the store, kind of moving around to the side to get an angle on it and sizing it up.
As you come around and start sizing it up, I'm still gonna call her Abby because that's her name. Abby, it like scuttles forward. So each of these legs is probably about like 5 to 6 feet long, and she sort of scuttles forward, and you see her like draw a hand back and like just stab it into the chest of the nearest person to her. As she stabs into it, it's almost like roots come out of her fingers, and like you start to see like this movement of blood pumping up through the roots and into her system, and she just I'll test these.
So, glancing up, seeing that, or hearing the card and knowing that Adam's on his way, Harrow's got the cloak. She sighs, reaches her hand up, puts the hat in her back pocket, and then does the full Wonder Woman turn and ends up looking like a very stylized, with Farrah Fawcett curls, perfectly done, red dress that kind of ends just above the knee, so like a little bit risque, but not really. And like a V-neck collar with a small gold like torque almost, and a white cloak cape that shows up, and there's bracers on both of her arms. And she goes, "So, Harrow, are we going high or low?"
Let me actually take a gander at this, and I would like to assess the situation.
All right, go ahead.
Can I assist in that? As from my approach?
You can also assess the situation. Just roll your own. It's a roll
Okay.
plus superior.
And I will also like to use be mindful of your surroundings. When you assess the situation before entering a fight, you may ask one additional question even on a miss.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 10.
All right, so you get to ask 3 questions.
Okay. So how could we best end this quickly? That's the first question.
So you had just seen Abby before, and she was very human, very mundane, and suddenly she's just morphed into this crazy spider creature. So obviously you need to subdue Abby in some way, either by knocking her unconscious, possibly like removing her legs. You don't know yet how to get her back to human form, so you just know that you need to like subdue her in
Immobilize.
some way.
Okay. In that case, what here can I use to subdue Abby?
You think that your friends are going to be the biggest thing to it because you aren't sure why she is transformed. You also suspect that it might have something to do with this copycat deck, so there might be answers for you in your deck as well.
Okay, so those are the best answers I've got. Third question. What here is most vulnerable to me?
Who here is most vulnerable?
No, what the question is what here is most vulnerable to me.
Okay. So all of her like robot-y legs, they appear to be made out of some kind of metal or scale hardened something, but her torso is still like soft and squishy and human. and she's literally still wearing like bands. She's wearing a Slayer t-shirt, just for flavor. And so you suspect that attacking like the top of her body rather than the legs will garner more results.
Cool. That's it for me.
Chameleon.
Rolled a 7, and so I'd like to know what here can I use to separate her from the person that she's currently got her claws in?
Yeah, it's like almost like root fingers. You suspect that if another form of life was substituted for the human, like if you could pull that away and like sort of attach something else that's living to her, they would automatically grasp things that are living.
Okay. Are there potted plants? The big.
Oh yeah, there's lots.
So Chameleon's just going to kind of send a tentacle out and pick up a potted plant, and the other tentacle's going to come up and wrap around the human, and she's just going to rip them off and substitute the plant.
Awesome. There's like a feeling. I don't know if any of you have ever had your tongue stuck to a pole like in the middle of winter, but that ripping feeling when you try and pull it off. There's kind of like one of those as you separate the human, but real quick with your tentacle, you substitute that plant in, and the roots of her fingers almost seem to withdraw for a second, but as soon as that plant is in front of her again, they like automatically reach out and grab it, and she lets out like a terrible scream as coming up of those roots, instead of seeing like the blood that you saw from the human, there's now just like almost like a yellowish sapish color that's seeping into her arm, and you can see it's like eroding or like disrupting or poisoning her or something as she just like lets out all this. But then she reaches out another arm and she looks like she's about to grab the next closest person, which will be Chameleon. What would you like to do?
Chameleon she's kind of unfurled the human, kind of rolled them away, and has flattened herself against the ground directly underneath her. If she's got the legs, she's directly underneath that body and is perfectly melded in with the floor, that tile floor that all malls have.
Cool. So the human is sort of like safely moved away. Abby is just like screeching. One of her hands is stuck to this plant, and that scream is just like bouncing off all of the walls. People are still running around behind you, and she looks like she's just like flailing around her other arm, just trying to grab any of them as they go by. Adam or Alcestis, you're up.
Alcestis is going to say, okay, well, Harrow gave me an answer, right? Sort of one. Of whether I said up or high or low?
He's going to say go low.
Cool. So Alcestis is gonna start running, and she's not super fast, but she is really in shape and really fast. And then she's just gonna give herself a little bit of a push with the telekinesis, and then she's going to die. Then she's gonna slide, and this time, instead of sliding the way she does when she hits second base in a bag, and she's concerned about the other team's player, she's actually gonna slide cleats up and try and knock out one of the legs. At the same time, she's going to use the telekinesis to grab one of the other legs and kind of pull them in together, and just kind of pull herself through this way.
Perfect. It sounds like you are trying to directly engage a threat. So probably, I will have you roll plus danger, please.
Okay. All right. So that is a 9. Yes.
Awesome. So you can pick one of these things from the list. You can, so you're going to be trading blows back and forth. You can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I think she's going to try and create an opportunity for the others, because what she's going to do is she's going to try and unbalance, by pulling on two of these other legs, she's going to try and unbalance Abby, so that, they're not disrupt them, so that either Vigil or Harrow can get in there and do some serious attack and damage.
For sure. So you run up, fueled by that telekinetic speed and energy. You grab onto two of her legs and you start to like wrestle them. As you do, you kind of like put her off balance, so she's on like her back legs, and you sort of like rear up and you're holding her there. But as she does, you see that arm come up and sort of swoop down for you and just stab into your chest. It's not sucking the vitality out of you yet, but it like hurts. Like her, it's almost like she has like long claw like fingers that are just like in your shoulder joint. You can feel them like ripping apart all of this stuff in there. Vigil or Harrow, what would you like to do?
All right, Vigil's up. I figure Vigil is standing one floor above.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say he's right across the courtyard from Journey?
Yeah, I would say it's like basically a straight shot. So looking down into the courtyard, you see like Alcestis is basically like wrestling these spider legs. She's got like an arm stuck into her arm, and but it looks like Abby is like very distracted. Like all of her attention is on Alcestis as she's bearing down upon her. So all other parts of her are open and vulnerable.
Could I run up to the handrail? I'll hold the handrail, jump over, like flip over so that I fall feet first, diagonally to kick Abby in the chest.
Absolutely.
Across from the courtyard.
Yeah. Because she's distracted and Alcestis provided that opportunity, you easily like, I'm almost picturing it as a full like handstand flip fall, and you just wham, your feet smash into Abby's chest. She rears backwards. Alcestis, you feel his fingers like sliding out of your arm as she falls over and kind of like onto her back. She lets out another terrible scream that I can't do because I just choked. But like she's like on her back, like all of her legs and arms flailing. What would you like to do, Harrow?
Okay, since I can be the flying gnat while these guys can actually engage, I'd like to provoke someone. Hey,
Okay.
sapsucker, fly in, and just sort of do the flying superhero annoying trick I'm borrowing from Flash, Superman, and all sorts of other things.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Archangel, love you. And just flying around in the store over Abby's head, just hurling insults.
Go ahead and roll. Plus superior.
Yep. So +2. That will be a 9.
A 9. Very nice. So you can choose one from this list. They can stumble and you take a +1 against them. You gain a critical opportunity, or you can gain influence over them.
I would like to gain influence.
All right. That sapsucker comment just hit her like really hard. You know, you don't really know her past, but probably involves some trauma with trees or something, because as that blow lands, you just see her eyes like pure red and angry and evil, but like you see them sort of like narrow a little bit, and her flailing and thrashing almost like stops a little bit as she seems to go like kind of still, and she just glares up at you. What do you know?
I would like to in response, just kind of do the casual flying backwards lounge move. Apparently more than you, and then just kind of like fly ever so slightly out of the journeys, trying to provoke her to chase after.
Yeah, she gives chase. She like fully like rolls, flips over, scrambles up on her spider legs, and she starts to like almost like crawl towards you, and she's just like continuing, what do you know? You know nothing. You know nothing of my troubles. You know nothing of what has come over me. It hurts. I need. And she's reaching an arm towards you with this hungry, desperate look on her face. They cursed me. I can't take it anymore. Give it to me. Give me your lifeblood.
As she's, Alcestes is still kind of like underneath her, and it's like as she's trying to scramble after Harrow, she wants to use the telekinesis that she has to kind of grab both of like two opposite legs again. And this time, she's going to do that manually, and then she's going to use her telekinesis to grab every shoelace in Journeys and lasso them together and start sending it up towards like holding. She's holding on to two legs to prevent the Abby from going after Harrow, but at the same time she's grabbing all of the shoelaces and sending them towards Adam to try and have him use that to try, give him another weapon to try and subdue the creature.
Adam, you see that there is a lasso made out of shoelaces flying at you. Chameleon, you also were underneath Abby during this whole scramble. What would you like to do here?
Abby is going to take this opportunity as she starts to move to basically push herself up, and she's now in Abby's face, in her form, because there's nothing for her to transmute into. But her flesh is impenetrable, and she's like, "You want something to suck on, darling? Suck this." And she's just waiting for this girl to start trying to break those fingers off onto her. And I'd like to use my move, Not Human Enough, directly engaging a threat in a terrifying fashion.
Go ahead.
All right, so let's. Okay, that is an 11.
Amazing. So you can pick two things from this list: resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opponent.
I'd like to take something from them, and what I'd like to take from her is her ability to use those fingers.
Okay.
And I want that to frighten her or surprise her. Your choice, whichever one it is. But,
absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what she's doing.
You roll out from under her and you're like, come at me, you got this. And without even looking at you, because all of her attention is still focused on Harrow, she like throws an arm out, and again, those roots just kind of appear from her fingers and slam into your skin. But as that happens, your skin actually begins to transmute into the roots. So instead of her taking your vitality, you're now absorbing hers. She looks over in surprise and alarm as she feels all of this essence like flooding out of her body. And the scream that used to be so terrifying and like visceral and monstrous now turns almost into a whimper as like the arm that's holding onto you starts to wither and her whole body starts to almost collapse into itself. Adam, you had that shoelace lasso. Oh, sorry, Chameleon.
I was gonna say, when on a hit, I have to mark a condition.
Okay.
So, yeah, just to let you know, I'm doing that. I'm marking a condition here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you're going to mark guilty. You feel a little bad seeing you just met this woman as a normal, mortal human woman, and now suddenly you don't know what's happening, but she is clearly dying. Adam, you've just received this shoelace lasso. You see Chameleon come out and get hit, and this strange withering happen on Abby. Oh, also, as Abby is like withering and turning like skeletal and she's losing all of that vitality, on her back, I'll say, like it's all like stripping down to just like skin and bone and like barely any flesh upon it. And you see in the middle of her spine what appears to be the shape of a card buried under the skin.
Ooh. Is it sticking out in any way?
It's like it's under the skin, so you can see like it's flat under the skin, so you can see like the shape of it, but
Okay.
it's not like sticking out, protruding.
Shit, I don't have anything to... I need a knife, someone!
For a move, I would like to actually use some team. 'Cause I want to, just hearing that in that moment, that lasso you've got quickly just like winds itself up into a sharp blade, almost like a small sword. So you actually have the dagger and use team to make it so that your engage roll gets a bonus.
Just forget about team. I'm sorry. But yes, you now have a dagger that's almost, I wouldn't say a dagger, I'd say almost like a lance. It's just out of this like tightly whirled up shoelaces, Adam.
All right. I will use... I have this power that says no powers and not nearly enough training. Whenever you pick up a new piece of gear, the first time I use this piece of gear to directly engage a threat, unleash my powers, or defend someone, I can roll plus mundane instead of whatever the normal is. So...
And with the team, you get +1 to that.
Ooh. All right, so I would like to roll... well, I would like to use this like lance thing that Harrow just made for me to run up behind her. And basically I want to stab right above the card and then use some leverage to like pop it out of her.
All right, go ahead and roll to
hurt,
directly engage.
but-
Yeah.
All right, it's 2d6, right? Getting my d6. Getting that exactly when I need them. Everything is gone. Okay. And we said +3, so that would be a total of 7.
Awesome. So you can pick one, you can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create opportunity, or impress, surprise, or frighten.
I will take something from them. The card.
Awesome. So you stick the lance into her back. You kind of like pry it out and you feel again that like ripping sensation as this thing peels out of her. As it comes out of her back, though, one of those spider legs that you hadn't been paying attention to just sort of like swipes at you and knocks you on your back. But then from your prone position, you look at her and you see the card is sort of like hovering outside of her back and it's glowing like bright, red, hot red. And all around it almost seems to be like an inferno of heat. You can't see it, but it's like very, very hot. You feel the heat on your face washing over you, and her body just seems to like crumple and shrink back into a human form. But now there is this card that's just levitating in the air, and it's giving off like tons of heat. You think it might become a fireball soon. Alcestes, what do you do?
Do I see this fireball card sitting there?
Yeah, it's like levitating there, and you're close enough that you can also feel the heat. Like, I'm gonna say there's about like 30 feet of like this ball of heat that you can all just feel.
Hey, Harrow,
Yeah.
left field deep. And she's just gonna use the telekinesis and shoot the card through the glass ceiling of the skylight of the mall as far into the air as she can.
Amazing. You try and like focus your energies on the card, and you're pulling it, even touching it with your telekinetic powers. It's hot. Like, I don't know how it's hot upon your powers, but it is. You
It just
feel
feels
it.
hot.
Yeah. But you struggle and you pull it and you thrust it up as far as you can. It takes off like a shot up through the glass skylight of the mall and it shoots into existence. And then poof, you hear it explode up in the air above the mall. And Abby is just laying there on the ground, like whimpering and crying. She has like a huge, almost as if she had been flayed, like the shape of a card cut out of her back. The mall is like everything is in rubble around you. People have just cleared out. Nobody's around. Now what?
Alcestis is going to go over to Abby, and she's still, I'm going to say she's still bleeding, but you can't really tell because the dress is red.
Mhm.
And she's going to go over to Abby, and she's going to use one of her other powers and manipulate her memory into the fact that she was just a victim of a horrible thing, but she doesn't remember attacking people.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
she remembers being attacked.
All right. The cries seem to sort of like subside into shock as she just shakes there on the ground, kind of like panting heavily. Like her Slayer shirt is all ripped up and torn. The back is like ripped out. She's just like almost comatose on the ground.
So Abby's back to her normal self, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Chameleon has literally slunk away and is hiding in the bushes. Literally hiding in the bushes.
All right.
Just kind of curled up. She's probably slipped on her clothes and is just huddled up, curled up into a ball.
Seeing this, do I know where the nearest hospital is?
Yeah.
Immediately just flying down, cradling Abby, and then just up and away.
Bye, Harrow.
All right.
Getting her to an emergency room stat.
All right. You transport her out, and as you're flying out of the mall, probably going through the hole in the sky light that was just created, you are above the mall and you see like the police car sirens and lights coming from all directions. You look down at your friends inside the mall and it's like kind of, oh well, and you fly off towards the emergency room. Vigil, Chameleon, Alcestis, you all hear the sirens approaching. What would you like?
I will make a beeline for the cabins. I want to see if, because she came out from the back store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from Journeys.
Well, we weren't in the store to see where she came from when she exploded.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Crap.
I mean, you can still check the back of the store because she is, makes sense.
Yeah, I think I'll go there or where Psyche was.
Psyche, the last you had seen Psyche, she had been walking away from the store towards Sephora, and then when the fight went down, like she just disappeared. So you're not sure where exactly she went.
No, but I mean when we first saw her at Journey.
Oh, because she was in the change room?
Yeah, in the change room, sorry.
Yes. So you basically want to go in a Journey and take a look around.
Yeah.
Alcestis, Chameleon, are you going to follow or are you going to wait where you are?
Alcestis is going to like kind of take a look around and then just say, I'm gonna help Adam or Vigil in the store. Chameleon, when you want to join us, please.
Chameleon is going to come out on the other side from where Alcestis is and start heading in the direction where Q, Dionysus, and Psyche were going. Because there were other supers here. There were people here that you could do stuff. And they all just kind of disappeared. So Chameleon's like, something's up. She's going to kind of do the whole, so that she's covered in the, dirt and she looks like she got caught in the middle of it and managed to hide.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of comes creeping out of the plant like if that's where she had been hidden the whole time. And is going to start meandering down that direction looking to see if she can find DOQ or Psyche.
All right. So we'll start with Adam and Alcestes. You go back into the ruins of the store, and everything is just like on the ground, thrown everywhere, destroyed. Are you checking out the back room or the change room first?
I'll first start with the change room.
All right. So you go and
Wait, no.
you-
I think Alcestes would see you go to do that, and she's like, mm-hmm. Somebody could be hiding in there. It'd be really weird if you showed up.
Whatever. I'll head to the back store then.
All right. So you both head to the back room. It's
Well,
like behind the
was gonna
counter.
hide into the changing room. She was just like, I'm not gonna let a weird guy show up and if somebody was hiding in the girls' changing room.
Wearing a mask. Very, very inappropriate. So you both head to the back room. It's like behind the counter where you purchase all of your stuff, and you open the door, and huddled up in the back there is like a manager and like two employees, and they're all just sort of like under a table, like, oh my god, what's happening? Is it done? Is it what's going on? Who are you?
It's I'm Vigil. You're safe now. You can come out. We
Vigil. Is that a superhero? Do you recognize that name? And the other two are like, no.
I'm pretty new around here. You haven't heard of me yet, unless you hang out in like. You know what? It's never mind. Just spread the word. You're safe.
Okay. Thank you. Oh my god, I don't know what's happening. They kind of crawl out from behind the table, and you see that like one of the store girls, she has like a big cut like across her shoulder, like just a slice, and she's obviously very shaken. She's like, "Is Abby okay? What's?"
Abby is gonna be fine. She got captured by the same creature, and she's gonna use her memory manipulation to make that the truth.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Capture. Yeah. That thing, it just came out of nowhere. It came from where Abby was standing, but it must have been Abby. It was going after Abby or something. And it just she just like bursts into tears, and the manager sort of like pats her head a little bit and just goes, yeah, you saved her, you saved us, thank you. It's safe to go out now.
Mind the glass.
All right. And they'll sort of shuffle off. So you just want to look around the back room?
Well, they said. Oh, wait! Before you go.
Yeah.
Where was Abby when the creature came for her? Where was she standing?
Oh, she was folding tables at the front table. The 2 for $20. The t-shirts were on sale. Gonna have to over there.
I'll go take a look there.
All right. Alcestes, you follow?
Yeah, and Alcestes is gonna walk over to the changing rooms and see if there's anything she can find in there.
All right. So I'm gonna flash over to Harrow really quick at the emergency room. Harrow, you swoop in. The emergency automatic doors slide open. You run in, the girl's in your arms. There's a receptionist behind the desk, and she's like, "Oh, superhero incident, I see."
Yeah, this poor young lady has a severe injury to her back. She needs bandages, probably some blood.
Yes, of course. Doctor, and she starts picking up the phone and calling people and things. You have her in your arms, right? Like
Yeah.
fireman style. So she's like starting to feel very hot, like feverish, as she sort of like squirms a little bit in your arms. The doctors all come and take her away, and as they take her out of your arms and like lay her on the stretcher gurney thingy, they sort of roll her on her back or on her front so that her back is exposed, and you see that shape of the card where it had been like cut out and like before it just looked like a raw wound. Now it's glowing with like a faint purple light. Not all of it, but you see the traces of what looks to be the lyre etched in her back.
Okay.
And the doctors are like, thank you for bringing her here. We'll attend to her right away. Please just fill out a report with the nurse. If you're a superhero, we need to get your details and a report.
Seeing the purplish glow, just going to reach out a hand, mention, do a quick mention, memento mori, and try and just etch that memory into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't forget that. And then, yay, prestidigitation and all sorts of minor magics to just flip through the paperwork and have it autofill.
Great, yeah.
Do that with a pencil, and then as soon as that's all filled out, fly back.
Cool. So that won't take you long, probably about 10 minutes total. Chameleon, you are peeling off, following the trail of destruction to where you assume people fled to. Leads you out to one of the exits of the mall, and you see that there's like a large crowd gathered there. Looking around, you see that there's a number of crowds that are all just sort of gathered up around the mall and on the streets. You don't see Dionysus, Psyche, or Q, but what you do see are a bunch of cops coming towards you and running into the mall.
She just kind of takes a few steps and melts into the crowd. And then once the cops go by, she pulls out a card. She goes, "They're coming," and she's cued it to Alcestis. Cops on the way, and puts the card back in her pocket.
Alcestis and Vigil, you hear the sound of footsteps coming in. You're standing over like an overturned table that has a bunch of just like t-shirts scattered everywhere. Oh, sorry, Alcestis, you're at the change room. Vigil is at the table, t-shirts everywhere. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. It just looks like a table full of t-shirts. Alcestis, you check all of the change rooms, and when you go into the one that you're pretty sure Psyche came out of, but you're not 100% sure because like it was a specific change room you don't quite remember, there's like when you walk into it, there's almost like this smell that you remember. Like again, you're just like overwhelmed with a sense of familiarity, and you see sort of like carved on the back wall, not carved, but like, you know, when you like scratch a wall and it leaves a little sign, just like a strange symbol that you don't recognize unless you've studied Harrow's cards ever.
I mean, she probably studied Greek and other things because she probably went to Greek school, but she did. I don't think Harrow has let them like fully examine the cards yet. So she'll just kind of like make a mental note of the image and like remind herself that it looks like Harrow's cards. And then also pull that scent up so it kind of like she has it. And then she'll go, she'll step out, and because she got the message from Chameleon, it's like, and Vigil, cops up, seen or unseen.
Oh, we didn't do anything wrong.
Cool.
And at that moment, a bunch of cops come thundering up. Freeze! Freeze where you are! Hey! Stand down! Take off the mask!
Alright. I'm gonna take off the mask now.
I don't think he looks like a giant spider woman.
Shit, it's
Ma'am,
stuck.
I need you to stay calm. We don't know what's going on here. We're trying to assess the situation.
Giant spider woman, flaming ball of fire.
We will get a report from you in a moment. First, we need this young man to take off his mask.
It's done. It's done. The mask is off. The mask is off.
All right. They kind of like lower their firearms slowly. Giant spider woman, you say?
Yep.
And you two will spend the next half hour giving a report to the police. And when you finish, they just say, well, all right, we have your information. We may need to contact you if we have more questions. Did you say that you modified the memory of the victim?
Oh, she wouldn't have mentioned that.
Okay.
She would not have mentioned that at all. She would just mention the fact that there was a victim. The victim was taken to the hospital. That there was a giant spider woman thing, and when we pulled it apart, the human part disappeared, and there was just like, is there anything left? No, there's just the
spider
it,
parts,
it
yeah.
kind of just exploded. That's what she would say, because she isn't gonna, it's like, there's the victim.
Mm. All right, ma'am. Thank you for your cooperation. We will look into the matter further. And you kids are just teenagers. You shouldn't be here fighting spider. There are other heroes around to do that kind of work. You two need to be more careful.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And they will go. Chameleon, have you been waiting outside this whole time for the half hour?
She waited about 5 or 10 minutes, got no response, and started walking home.
All right.
She probably waited about 5 minutes and then started walking home.
Cool. As you're walking through the crowds and just sort of like trying to make your way, you're not really comfortable in large crowds, I'd imagine. So you're sort of like squished into yourself and peeling away. You scan the faces, and even though when you first all entered the mall, you saw like a few notable superheroes there shopping and doing their day-to-day things, you do not see any superheroes here right now. It all appears to be civilians.
She definitely makes note of that and is in her mind trying to remember the ones that she did see that were there, because that's information. So she's kind of, okay. They were. I saw. Did I? Was that? Maybe.
You would have seen the Blue Bullet.
Okay.
You would have seen Axia, AXIA.
Okay.
You would have seen Squirrel Man, who is not the most, powerful, but well known and familiar, Squirrel Man. And there also was the Silver Rocket, and the last one will be named Gene, Gene.
Okay. So she's kind of made note of that, and to let the others know when they get back. But otherwise, yeah, she's kind of skirted the crowd, and she hasn't seen the people that she was looking for. No superheroes. She's just another kid walking home that looks like she got involved in something that happened at the mall.
All right. Harrow, when you're flying back, you probably would see through the broken skylight that Vigil and Alcestes are being questioned by the cops.
Seeing that, just like hovering through above the skylight, just kind of huffing, going, great. The paper boys have shown up. And then, like, flutter down. And just float over, doing the entire Eldritch thing of making myself look bigger and more intimidating. Have like the green lightning bolts coming from the eyes. Officers, they're with me.
They kind of look at you and they just see like a teenager that's sort of puffed up and like magic eyes. They've seen all kinds of superheroes at this point, right? So they're like, all right, can we get your contact information for questioning as well? If you were involved in this incident, we need to get your report.
I've already filled out so much paperwork today saving people here. And just like a copy comes out from underneath the sleeve. Everything that was at the hospital, just a copy.
Right. Well, okay. I see your contact information is here. We may reach out. Make sure you keep your phone on you. Don't leave town. We're gonna have a lot more questions after this.
That's great. If you can reach me in either Helheim, Hell, or the Plane of Pandemonium, that'll be great. If we're done here, we're gonna go home.
Yeah. Where are your parents? Also, we should get their contact information.
Great.
since their
You can
children lives
contact Queen Mab of the Unseelie Court and Lord Oberon of the Seelie Court. Just don't do it at the same time. You'll disintegrate.
It was a
His
very
face-
messy force.
He's just so unimpressed, and he just turns back to Vigil and Alcestes like, do you have parents in this realm of existence?
The guardian person that you wish to contact, her name is Strega Nocte. Her name is on the address and all the information that's there for you.
You know what? As soon as you say the name Strega Nocte, he's like, yep, that, right, of course, makes sense, right? And he just scribbles down some notes and just kind of like looks around, shakes his head, and is like, oh, it's going to be a long night tonight. And he'll walk off.
Have a nice day, officer.
Uh-huh.
You know the Norwegian police are so much more polite.
Well, next time let's just not get caught. I thought they would greet us as heroes. We basically did all the work for them.
Yeah. That's why they're not going to get real happy with us, Rachel. Oh, crap. I'm not driving home in this. 2 seconds. And she does the reverse spin in 180, the opposite direction. And then she's wearing jeans and the hoodie and the baseball cap.
I need to go grab my stuff upstairs.
Yeah, okay, that'd be good.
I need to get you a golem.
Who needs a golem?
Yeah.
Vigil needs just like a sundries golem, one that just keeps track of all of his stuff and follows him around.
As you're in your mundane clothes again, Alcestes, your phone just starts going off like crazy.
Yeah, she's not surprised by that. She picks the phone up. How many missed calls are from her mother and how many are from her brothers?
I'm gonna say that you still have a landline at home because that seems fitting. So it's all from the landline home number, and it's like 15.
She'll just pick up the phone. She goes to lift it with her arm, and she's like, "Fuck, that hurt." Moves it to the other side. She goes, "Hi,
Alcestes, is that you? Are you hurt? What happened? Dionysus just came home and he's all in a wreck, and he said that there was a monster at the mall. Are you fighting monsters again at the mall? You were supposed to be at softball practice again. Were you hanging out with those hero friends of yours? You know I don't approve of them."
She just kind of holds the phone out here, waits, because then eventually her mom will get over the being upset. Then the next question will be like, "So did you win? How many people did you actually do well? Give me the whole description." Because like her mom was a superhero, and so she gets over her panic, and then it's the
And during
analysis.
the rant, I just go, I can't remember your last name.
She never says it.
Okay.
Her mom's name is Andromache.
Mrs. Alcestes' mom.
Yeah.
That's who she is.
Hi, Alcestes' mom. She's fine. She did awesome.
Is that hero? You tell that boy. He's just because he has a fancy mansion and a mentor and a sorceress supreme, he can't keep getting you into trouble like this. I want you to come home right now and bring your friends, and I'm going to make dinner for all of you. Are you hurt? Do I need to get medical supplies? Do I need to get the healer over here?
We'll see you soon, Mom.
Yeah, you
By
come
the
right
way-
home, Alcestes.
By the way, I saw Dino hanging out with a new girl. You might want to ask him about that. And hangs up on the phone.
As you hang up, as you're pulling the phone away, all you hear is, Dino!
It's like, I have no shame throwing my brother under the bus.
Thump thump.
That's one hell of a bus, too.
Double decker.
And she'll look at Vigil and Harrow and be like, so we're gonna go pick up Chameleon before we stop back. And can somebody... Oh, hold on. Like, I think it might still actually be bleeding. I think she is.
I'm not really good at healing
Don't
magics.
touch it. Don't touch it.
Really good at destroying things. I'm not good at fixing them.
Yep, I know. That's why I'm not gonna let you touch it.
Are any of you wondering where Chameleon is, or are you?
Yeah,
used
where
to
is
her-
she?
She like, I think Alcestis is used to this. Like, Chameleon just be like, Chameleon comes, Chameleon goes, she'll show up, and then she'll be like, but she'll pick up, like, first she'll text in the group chat, like, hey, Cammy, we're heading home.
And with Carrie, because she wears the gloves, she can't use the phone. And then if she takes off the gloves, it's a tentacle. It doesn't work real well. So she just acknowledges. She just kind of looks at it, shoves it back in her pocket, because there's nothing she can really do. She can't answer like that. So she'll get messages, but she doesn't reply to them ever.
If she doesn't reply to it, then Alcestis will pick up the card and be like, hey, we're leaving. You good? Where you at?
She just takes the card and just holds it up so that you can see her surroundings. I'll wait for you here.
See you in 5.
So you probably have about a 20-minute head start. I'm gonna say that you are heading in the direction of the subway because you don't really have your ride anymore.
Yeah, it's that, or she would walk the entire distance back to the mansion. She probably avoids the subway. She tends to avoid crowds whenever possible. So she's just walking. She was
All right.
homeless, so that's just how you get around. She walks. It doesn't occur to her to take the subway or the bus.
Fair enough. So you're heading east, and Alcestis, and you saw just a bunch of houses and buildings around. You really have no idea where she is, but you've driven this route enough times to know what her familiar walking route would be. So y'all get back in the car, and where are you headed?
We're not gonna make her mother more mad. We're going there. I have too much respect and fear.
I want to know if Harrow fears Strega or Alcesti's mom more.
Equal.
They are
both-
almost the same.
They both have the exact same stare, and they both elevate their voice almost to the exact pitch. It makes me think that the parallel universe theory is absolutely correct.
You don't have a protection against the Maloik, do you? We need to get you one. We'll get you an evil eye. It's fine. You'll feel much better if you have 6. And a red pepper.
I am not familiar with this tradition. I must learn.
Okay, so that look that she gives you, that's called the Maloik.
Okay.
Short for...
he just produces a small pad and a pen and is just literally taking notes.
And she's driving the car, and I think she's got the music going, and she reaches up and taps the hanging protection from evil eye, the Greek blue and white circle talisman that's hanging from that and the St. Christopher's medal that's hanging from the rear view mirror.
Starts sketching it because this is how he learns, and it's just scribbling all this stuff down. This is gospel now.
I mean, for my mother, it definitely is. You okay, Adam? Or are you still crushed in the back?
Oh no, I'm good. I am furiously checking Instagram to try to find Zhao's profile.
Yeah, luckily you still have her number on your phone, so she actually comes up as a recommended friend.
Oh,
This is
cool.
a new Instagram account. And you see that she doesn't really post pictures of herself, but she's always been an amazing artist. She does great paintings and caricatures and all that stuff. And you see like she's had her Instagram page up for just under a month, but she's already got like a sizable following. But as you're scrolling through the feed, what sticks out in particular is a beautiful painting of that guy that you saw her with. And you saw that she tagged him because he has a pretty big Instagram page. He's like a big Instagram influencer. He's probably got like, not huge. He's got like 15,000 followers. And she had painted one of his pictures that was on his feed. And you saw that he commented on it and was like, wow, you're awesome. Heart emoji, winky face emoji. So talented and beautiful.
I check his profile.
He is a model / watchman. So he is part of a neighborhood watch for the Danforth neighborhood, which is coincidentally where Alcestis lives. He's got, like I said, just over 15,000 followers. He is very beautiful. Lots of modeling photos, looks very heroic and epic in all of them. But he also has like, screenshots of like news clippings, saved people from a fire, stopped a bank robbery, etc. But they all appear to be like not like dangerous battles, more just almost like photo op kind of things.
Oh, look, he helped a grandma across the street.
Are you stalking your ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend?
No, I'm not. I'm checking out who was at the mall. I'm filtering suspects.
You're stalking your ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
He's not
He's
her new
doing
boyfriend.
what they refer multitasking. He is stalking his ex's new boyfriend and filtering suspects.
Yeah, what Harrow said.
His handle is
Multitasking.
Sean Savior, by the way.
Sean Savior.
I hate the guy already.
How does he
Douchey
spell
handle.
Sean?
SHAWN.
Oh,
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 God.
he's gotta go.
Yeah.
Do you check his story or just his feed?
Everything. Is there a way to like dislike things on Instagram?
How many of his pictures does he have the polos with the popped collars?
Not surprisingly, not that many, because most of the pictures he's not wearing a shirt.
okay, well,
Fair.
okay. So then the next question is, how many? So do you check his story? What's
Yeah,
his story
I check his
about?
story.
So you go through his story, and within the past 24 hours, he like takes a lot of pictures of food. He goes get bubble tea, like, yeah, bubble tea, love Asian culture, hashtag love Asian girl, or something like that. Sorry, I just had to. But then it comes to the last one, and you see he's got a screenshot of Zhao's page. And it just says, met this amazing artist at the mall today. Can't wait to collaborate more. Heart emoji. Oh, and at this point you pull up and there's Chameleon.
He gets in it. Why is Adam's eye twitching?
He's stalking his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
I'm done.
He's multitasking.
I'm done. I don't care. He's pretentious and douchey. I don't need.
I know pretentious. Douchey's a new word. I'm still learning.
He's a bro.
I remember that one.
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
Okay. I was gone for 4 years, not 4 decades.
Yeah, but you went to all of these different planes of existence with different timelines and temporal distortions.
The brain is filtering.
Okay, wait. 2010.
It's Tuesday,
slang.
right?
Saturday.
No, it's Saturday.
Close.
This isn't the way back to the mansion.
No, my mom called.
She's feeding us.
Chameleon digs into her pockets and pulls out 6 of the Moluccias. Everybody's got theirs, right?
Of course. Well, the Harrow might not. He didn't know what that was.
6
I
what?
Here, you can have 2 of mine. And she gives 2 to Harrow.
He
like-
takes them and looks incredibly grateful at this moment, in his mind, a momentous gift, because in his mind these are magical. So it's like, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Can I have one? I
you-
don't have any.
Yeah, here. And she'll hand you one.
Cool.
We also need to get you a pepper. I mean, we can get you a nice chain. The pepper would look nice.
Reminds me of that time I spent over in Slovakia. Okay.
Okay, that's just not the right way to do it, but okay.
Hey, I was learning about vampires.
Legit.
Okay.
As you pull up into the driveway, you see that both of your parents are standing at the edge of the driveway, and your mom is just there with like a very unimpressed look on your face. Why don't you describe what your parents look like for us, Alcestes?
I think they're both tall taller than she is. She's like
Mhm.
5'5", but they're like
Mhm.
her mom is like 5'7", 5'8", and her dad's close, like 5'10", maybe 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". And they both look very. Her mom looks like a very young Sophia Loren, but like the younger Sophia Loren.
I
So
have the strangest boner right now.
it's Sophia Loren. It's acceptable. And her dad, if you can picture, what's his name? The guy who is the lead in Jason and the Argonauts, but older. So the 1950s stop motion animated movie, but like he's in his 40s, maybe in their 50s, and they were superheroes, so they're both still very fit, but like they've retired now. I guess it was one of those like the Alcestis is pretty sure that they're not really retired, but they just don't make things public in front of the kids, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so her mom is probably wearing like what she thinks is casual, but looks like, jeans that are like a little too nice and a white dress shirt that's been pressed. And she actually has like a couple necklaces that she's wearing, and her hair is shorter but very stylized. Thank you, Todd Armstrong. Picture an older Todd Armstrong. And her dad is like probably like jeans and a like Oxford with a like just a sweater thrown on top of it, and he's probably not anywhere near as upset as her mom, and so he's pretending to be upset because that's what her mom wants. And it's like, yeah, her parents are Andromache and Hector.
Awesome.
A slightly better relationship ending. Well, not ending. It's not ending.
So you pull into the driveway, and your mom just like basically comes up to the door while you're pulling in. She like raps on the window. She's like, Alcestes, I see blood on your shirt. Get out here right now.
Hi, Mom. I
She, like,
can't.
looks
I'm
and she
gonna
waves
hit
at
you with the door. I can't hit you with the door if you're standing there. I can't open the door if you're standing there.
She backs up.
Chameleon is in the back. She pulls out the emblem, puts it in her pocket, and then just very little bit, just enough, opens up the hatch to slip out, close it very quietly, and slips around the opposite side of the car into the house.
Hector hasn't moved up to the car. He's just like leaning against the wall, like kind of this half like wry smile on his face, but like trying to look stern, very dad-like, and his eyes just drop to the ground as he sees you sort of like slide by, and he nods at you. Chameleon,
Hi.
why don't you let
Because
yourself in? I think they're gonna be a minute here.
she did good.
And Dramaki is just like all over you, Okesti. She's like, what would their powers be?
I think it's one of those that they kind of. Andromache was also has some sort of mental powers and is like a brilliant strategist, right? And like can look at his field and know everything that's going on with it and can picture where everyone's going to be and has that level of Sherlock,
Human battle computer.
battle computer, but she can also like manipulate, like not stop time, but stop herself in time so that she can also add to her reaction time to it. And then
Midnighter.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay.
I was like trying to get it through my head. And
Yeah,
like,
no,
I know what we're
Midnighter.
describing.
Okay.
The more important question, I think, specifically is, does anyone in your family have healing powers?
I don't think. I think Polynices did.
Well, that's convenient because he's gone.
That's with and I think that Hector was another marshal of some sort. Like they worked really well together because they played off of each other.
And then pass those skills on to their children. Right. So Andromache is just like all over you. She's like muttering under her breath, like, Polynices was here. He would fix you up so fast, but we're just going to feed you and then we're going to get you to the hospital. How much are you bleeding? Are you okay? What happened?
No, I'm totally fine. Totally fine.
Get inside. I'm going to eat. As soon as you all walk into the house, Adam, Harrow, anything in particular as you, the car and...
No. I waited for the diatribe to be over and then quiet as I can, just open the door, quietly close the door, and ever so slightly levitating to make even less noise, just like flutter myself into the house.
Yeah, I do the same. I don't want to disturb Alceste's mom.
No, I do not want that ire at me whatsoever. I will only speak when spoken to until she starts making jokes. Because I know when her mom starts making jokes, I can talk again.
Fair enough. So she's very focused on you, Alcestes, right now. As you come into the house, she sort of like plops you down. Like she's talking nonstop about like Polynices is here. The whole house is filled with smells of spices and the classic Greek cooking that you're so used to. And it's all laid out on the table, but she just ignores all of it, sits you down in the living room and starts wrapping up your arm. Luckily, it's not like too deep. It maybe went like an inch in. It didn't seem to like tear any tendons or whatever. And she's just like tutting away at you. Hector sort of like claps a hand on your shoulder and says, "Did you get him?"
Fireball, deep left field.
That's my girl.
Quick question. Because of what Chameleon and went through with Abby and the life force coming into her. So does Chameleon just have this in her? I don't have a move that would really do anything, but I'm wondering if there's a way that Chameleon could pass some of that back into Alcestes.
I mean, if you're willing to, the problem is I can't heal off of you because I can't puncture your skin and therefore I can't absorb your vitality.
No, but she can push it into you.
If you had still, like, if this had happened right after the battle and you were still, like, wearing Abby's skin, we'll call it, then you would have that ability. But I'll say, like, because so much time has passed, you've, like, gone back to your normal self. So you really, really want to help your friend, but unfortunately, now is not able to do it.
All right.
All of your brothers are also, like, kind of like standing on the staircase just looking down at you. Dino's like leaning there like, She got you pretty good. Hey, Chameleon. Hey, Vigil. Harrow.
Hey, Dino, you left us behind because you were with a girl.
Hey, I wasn't with a girl. I was just with Q.
And a girl named Cordelia.
Ah, she's nothing. She's Q's girl. I was just hanging out with them, you know, and we left before all of it went down. Like, we walked out of the mall, and everything, like, everyone starts running out, screaming and stuff. Hector kind of, like, walks over and smacks him up beside the head. He's like, why didn't you go in and do something about it? He's like, man, you know, I was with my friends.
Who was that Q fell person?
Oh, Q?
Yeah.
Q's cool. Yeah, I met them. Man, where did I meet them? I think it was at a bar last week or something. We've been friends. We've been chatting for a while, and then we met up at this bar, and then we just hit it off, you know? Like, I still don't know if they're a guy or girl or what, but I like them. They weren't dating Cordelia. I don't know what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
know, so-
Heracles
It's
kind of
just
floats
shrunk
down the
into
stairs
herself.
at this point, all golden and shiny, and kind of like looks at you. He's like, "You all right there, little sis?"
Well, yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I just was hungover today. I had a party last night at the frat house, but you know, now that you're okay and Dino's all right or whatever, then I'm good.
Why were you at a frat house?
Why wasn't I at a frat house? Come on. You know, there was a game last night. We all went out. One thing leads to another. You're at a frat house.
Mom, Heracles went to a college party.
Heracles! She's like in the middle of bandaging you, and she's like, Heracles, you shut your mouth. You're not supposed to be in those places. You should know better. Go and eat something. Get out of my face. And she leans in into you, Alcestis, and she's like, I swear, you're the only spawn that actually, you know, seems like me at all. All these boys.
Yep, totally understand that one, Mom.
So you all sit down to dinner after Alcestis is patched up. And the conversation is rowdy. Everything's always rowdy with her three brothers there, and her parents themselves are very talkative. Do you all share the story of what happened, and are we trying to talk about other things?
I mean, I'm gonna... Can you excuse me? I need to go to the bathroom.
Alcestis would probably be telling everyone the story because she's used to this. It's like,
It's a
And
debrief. You have to do debrief.
Yeah,
But
it's
do you
debrief,
wanna
and she's-
tell them about the...
oh yeah, she tells them everything. And she tells them, like, she kind of plays it up and brags about, like, not her, just her, not bragging about her, but the rest of them and how great they did. And, like, she has this whole, like, in description of the whole bit where Vigil vaults over the side of the rail and then has a perfect kick and be like, Mom, you would have loved it. It was perfectly right in the middle of the sternum. It was perfect down the middle of the line. And, you know, it was like this whole, for her, it's nothing. And she's like, yeah, and I cleaned up afterwards. Don't worry. No victim memories, no nothing.
But I think what he was referring to is, did you say everything at the table, including what you found?
The card? Or
The card and the symbol that you found, because I don't know about that.
yeah, she'd mention the symbol because there was this creepy thing, and I didn't get a chance to tell you, Vigil. Sorry about that.
What's that?
Wait, didn't Vigil go to the bathroom? Or
Yeah, did Vigil go to the bathroom or did you come back?
Yeah, he went to the bathroom and then used his phone to text Alcestis to say, are you really going to tell everything about
And
the
she's-
card?
And she's got her hand under one table. It's like, yes, because if I don't and they find out later, fuck that shit.
I don't trust Q. What if your brother tells on us?
No one believes my brother. Ever.
Yeah, and at this moment you look up and Dionysus is sitting next to Chameleon at the table, and he's just sort of like almost like shoveling food in his mouth, and he's like, you can tell he's like obviously trying to look under her hood and but like be like discreet about it, but he's like such a not subtle person. He's like, yeah, Cammy, so you were there at that fight? That's awesome. I mean, like, what did you do? What are your powers? What you got going on?
She's absolutely silent the whole time. Doesn't say a word, but she knows if she doesn't eat here, there will be trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got the fork, and what if you've ever seen Breakfast Club, Ali Sheedy, when she's doing the whole thing, that's what she's doing. Is she's kind of hunched over down and little bites, and it just kind of the fork just kind of disappears and then comes out empty, and that's it. She's just hunched over herself, and every time Dionysus says something to her, the fork will pause. Nothing, and then just takes a little bite again.
So yeah, so she would describe everything, and then she would she'd mention like, yeah, and Cordelia came out of there. It smelled weird too. Like,
You always think Cordelia smells weird. Y'all need to put that shit behind you, man. She's not that bad.
Bitch is all
Bitch.
you hear
No.
under her breath, very quietly.
No, according to my cards, she actually is the definition of bad.
Ah, card smarts, man. You can't just rely on what your cards know. You gotta know things for yourself in here. Except he actually points to like the wrong side. He's like, in here.
I'll keep that under advisement. So, okay. I think someone's not just trying to duplicate it. I think someone's trying to sabotage me.
Sabotage you? This is Andromache. Sabotage you? A nice young boy like you? Why would anyone have a problem with you? Other than maybe you don't eat enough. Here, take some more rice. Take some more of this. Did you try the sauce? Get some of the sauce on there.
I'm doing everything as she says. But
and like you just see Alcestis go as she realizes that her mom has started to shove Harissa at you, and she's like, I don't know how Harrow's gonna deal with that.
I have dined with Vikings. I can handle Harissa. Though it may not go incredibly well. But I'm going to do everything as she says, but at the same time, hey, it's not just me. I have a relationship with the Eye of Shadows is something that is potent and automatically gets you access to certain things in certain places that most people shouldn't be. And if they're actually copying, and in this case, that card is what was, I got the reading off of Psyche, well, off of Cordelia. And then the thing happened. So it could be someone trying to prevent me from using the deck.
Wait, you said Cordelia? Like Cordelia's involved in this?
Cordelia is
She's
most
hot.
definitely involved in this. I don't know if she's a victim or a perpetrator.
Oh man. She's going through a really hard time, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if she's a victim. Like, her parents are rough on her.
Q's hot.
Did
Chameleon.
you say hot? Yeah, they are.
But Cordelia is definitely tied to this. I don't know how, and right now I'm rather gun-shy about calling upon the deck's powers anytime soon. Not until we get this sorted.
At this point, Andromache and Hector are starting to like clear up plates, and dinner's kind of winding down. So they're sort of in and out, and your brothers have already like disappeared, except for Dionysus, who's like leaning back in his chair with his feet up because he seems interested because his friends are involved. Vigil, I'm assuming you're back from the bathroom.
Yeah, at some point.
Mm-hmm.
After texting, basically, I would have come back.
Dionysus just his sort of like picking his teeth, like one thing, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know much about you, Cape guy, Harrow, but you know, or your deck that you're talking about. I bet it's a big deck, but." Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Q's involved in it. Q's a pretty good person, and they don't have any powers or anything like us, you know? They're mundane. And Cordelia, she's like their girlfriend, you know? So, like, she's not gonna hurt them or, like, you know, spawn a giant spider monster in the middle of a mall. She's not like that, you know? She doesn't hurt people.
Just, you know, harms them.
Chameleon at that point, she just gets up and walks away from the table.
Cammy, come. Did I say something?
Yeah. Like somebody that Cordelia hurt. God, you're such an asshole. And like that, she'll like shove off from the table and like go after Chameleon.
He looks over at like Harold and Vigil. He's like, God, girls are so complicated. Why are they always fighting? You know what I mean?
Do you ever just shut up for a second?
No.
Because you talk even when you're eating. I saw all your food, man.
Hey, that's like a sign of like respect for the food. You gotta appreciate. You don't eat with your mouth open, then you're not eating.
I look
listen.
at the mom for a second. And then I'll look back at him. Yeah, listen, what?
Andromache is just shaking her head and rolling her eyes. She looks at Hector and she goes, "That's your son." So Dionysus is kind of like is tempered a little bit. He had a bit of wine with dinner and he's kind of chilling now and just hanging out. Chameleon and Alcestes, where have you walked off to?
I think the backyard. There's, I mean, this is a house full of boys and a tomboy. There is a tree house. There are tree swings. There is a back swing, you know, porch swing, whatever. And I think she's just kind of, there's a tire swing hanging off the tree. And she's just sitting in the tire swing because that's been kind of, when she would come over, especially when she was younger, they would kind of sit out there and talk and whatever. And so that's where she's at. She's just sitting in the tire swing.
And Alcestes, that's where you find her.
And Alcestes knows Chameleon, so what she'll do is she'll like pretend to like she's not gonna go directly to the tire swing, instead she's gonna go to the tree that's hanging off of, and it doesn't have like a ladder or anything, but it has the nailed boards as a ladder up the side of the tree. And so she's gonna go up that and across the limb and like kind of hang down like from her, like bend, like sit on the limb and then hang down backwards. She's done this a lot. She may have fallen out of this tree a couple times, but she's okay with that. But she's much better now. She's like, I'm sorry he's an asshole.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not your fault he's an asshole. He's an asshole. It's not his fault that think he's a bitch. He's a bitch. People don't.
that's the truth.
She's got the hair, the eyes, the smiles, and they go, ah, whatever.
I'm sure that hair is not natural, and if we took some effort, I can find some black dye, and we can get rid of that bottle blonde.
It's not worth the effort.
I mean, I'd be mildly entertained by it.
I'd rather shave her.
But then she gotta hold still.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, but
could keep her still.
Oh, well, there's that. I mean, I'm sure we can find a way to key that car of hers.
Yeah. Be fun to take Q from her.
I don't know that Q is hers.
She thinks he is.
Yeah, but I don't think that. I don't know. It's weird. It's like I know them, but I don't.
Yeah. There's something weird about them. And
Also, what?
Hey, we need to see about getting Dino and Q. Have Dino invite Q over sometime.
I mean, I can do that. That's easy.
Dinner with your mom.
Are we going to subject them to that from the start? Maybe
We'll
we
know
should
a
build up
lot
to it.
more.
Yeah, but maybe introduce them to Strega Nocte first. See how they survive that one.
And you could, if you could see Chameleon's face, and Alcestis would know, knowing Chameleon as she is, knows that Chameleon at this point is weighing, which is the lesser of two evils, when it comes to introducing people to one or the other. Yeah, but then we'd have to deal with Varun.
Oh yeah, that'd be mean. I'm sure if we said something and I could say the right thing in my mom's ear and guarantee you that she'd have Dino bringing his friends over right away.
Might be a good way to find out what's going on. How's your arm?
It'll be fine.
I should have taken that. I'm sorry.
No worries. You look dope. You rescued the guy?
Yeah, not her. I didn't mean to hurt her. God, oh God.
You didn't hurt her. The person who stuck the freaking card that was turned into a fireball hurt her.
But, I mean, I thought if she break her root claw stingies off on me, and then she would be, and then it.
It was a good idea. It worked.
No, it didn't. It hurt her. That's, I mean.
Okay, it hurt her, but it didn't harm her. She's gonna get better because of it, and she's not, dead or exploded into a fireball. Exploded in a fireball is hard.
Alcestis, it seems to me like you were trying to comfort or support Chameleon. So if you would like, you could roll plus mundane, and it will help Chameleon either shift their labels, mark potential, or clear her condition.
Okay. So that is an 8.
An 8? Yep. That is a hit. So, Chameleon, you can take your choice. You can either mark a potential, clear a condition, or shift your labels, depending on what you would like to do.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Of course I am. Professional streamer, ladies and gentlemen. I think she's going to I think she's gonna go ahead and clear the condition because it's the guilt that's been eating at her, and if anybody can help her work through that, it's Alcestis. They've had these talks before, so we'll go ahead and clear that.
Awesome. Alcesti's words sort of just wash over you, and that reassurance, she's always been so solid, such a good friend, and that reassurance really fills you up with hope and relief, and you feel the guilt sort of ebb away from you.
Yeah, she doesn't feel as responsible for what happened to the girl, and that's a relief, especially knowing because she wasn't there by the time Harrow took off with her. So it's knowing that the girl's alive and okay is going to be okay. That's a relief for her.
Back inside, Dionysus has had like another cup of wine and some beer, and he's just sort of like shooting the shit with Harrow and Vigil. But then as he's getting like a little bit drunker, he's just like, he leans over very heavily to Harrow and he's like, Harrow, you got some cool cards, right?
Yes. They're cool.
Can I see them?
Sure, I know, sure. And I'll hand him the deck. Just thinking that part of the problem is him reading the cards, not someone else. So he'll just hand the cards over.
He takes them and he's like, man, these are sweet. And he sort of like fans them out and looks at them. He's like, yeah, like, I know another guy that has these. Where'd you buy them from?
Who's the guy?
What guy?
The guy
Where'd you get these from? You're the guy that has the deck.
I got him in a car accident.
Ah, that's interesting. I thought you would have gotten them from like a store or something. But yeah, I don't know if you know the guy, but I seen them when he was like saving someone the other day. He was like, what was that guy's name? He's always around here, walking around. He was helping some lady cross the road, and then he like pulled out a card and showed it to her.
Sean Savior.
That's the one. I follow him on Instagram. He's great. I love his workout videos. I used to work out until Polly was gone. I miss him. He was such a good guy. He used to spot me on the weights. But yeah, Sean Savior, he does the crunchy videos. He can do like 5,000 pull-ups. I watched a YouTube video of it. It was crazy. And he continues rambling.
This has been... This is getting personal.
Dino, you've been great, man. But I think I need to get Adam back to his grandmother. Otherwise, we're all going to have hell to pay.
Oh, yeah. You gotta go home to Grandma. I get it. Yep. Well, I don't know when those girls are coming in, but good night.
I'll go get the girls.
All right.
And
he sort of slumps over.
Just like calmly walks, but once he's away from Dino, that calm walk's gone. It's a pure run straight to the backyard, opens the sliding glass door, just pokes his head out. Sean Savior has my deck.
So, and you see, you see Alcestis leaning back, like hanging from the tree branch, and she just kind of looks at you and goes, "So Adam's ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend has the deck?"
Yes, he's the evil.
I knew that guy was shifty.
Who?
All right, we're gonna go stalk Adam's ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend, and she does she puts her hands on the limb and she pushes off and she flips back down.
Further proof that blondes are evil.
Natural or unnatural?
Either.
Further
Be
proof
fair.
that he's a douche.
I
We
mean,
knew that.
Frosted tips mean, I think, is in fact a mark of the devil, but I'm not entirely certain.
I'm pretty sure it just means that you believe that you belong to the devil. Yeah, not even the devil wants anyone with frosted tips.
I don't know. Soul Trade is kind of having a bit of a downfall right now. Hard times.
Just Harrow, BT
Yeah?
Dubs.
Hmm.
Don't mention anything about trading in souls in front of my mother because she will then apparently decide that you need more protection.
Chameleon pulls out one of the ends.
I will take that under serious advisement, but to be fair, Strega had me learn about soul trafficking and manipulation on day 52. And he turns back around. We should probably get Adam back to his grandma's.
Yeah, I'll drive everybody home. Come on.
All right. I think we all like do this like teen thing of going from the backyard. I'm seeing like Adam parkouring over the fence, Chameleon climbing over the fence, Alcestis backflipping over the fence, and I'm just flying over the fence. Not going back through the house because parents.
Mm.
But Alcestis will pull out her phone and like text her dad. It's like, hey dad, I'm gonna drop everyone off at home. See you in 5. Curfew. Bye. Like fully expecting like her dad's reaction is like, okay, good, you're being a responsible friend.
And-
Cammy would sleep over tonight at Alcestis.
Yeah, cool.
Wonderful. Well, that is where we will close out the session tonight then.
I have some
Thank
stalking
you.
to do.
Yay! Well, you already did a little bit, so further stalking
Yes.
to find out more about your ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
And now I regret not taking the move that's called straight up creeping.
Ah, well, you
Yeah.
live and you learn.
Yep. I need to get to one of my drives so I can have more XP or advancement. I don't remember what they're called again.
Potential.
Potential.
None of y'all missed any rolls, so no potential
Yeah.
for you. Oh well. Next time on Masks.
Yeah, in fact, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all of you who hung out in chat. Thank you for all the follows, all the subs, all the hosts. Thank you to all of you watching the VOD on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans on the other platform. I am Simon at Wandering DM. This is our channel. You can find us playing Dark Matter D&D in space on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Masks here on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. On alternating Fridays, we play Cyberpunk Red here on the channel. Otherwise, for the next couple of weeks, I think the next month on alternating weeks, I'll be over on Off the Table playing in a game of Lady Blackbird. And then Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, you can find me here playing Vampire the Masquerade on this very channel and on the Onyx Path channel at 8 p.m. on Monday. That said, I will let the mic, give the mic to the other players and GM of this very, very fun campaign. And you can tell people who you are, where we can find you, and what you have going on in your internet lives. And we'll do the same order that we did for the intros, so I'll pass it off to Deirdre.
Hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter or Prexagorth as Meophoria as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. I have so much fun with this. I love all of this and I can't wait to see what happens next. I love this drama. It's gonna get good. I love this thing that we built and it'll be so much fun to play next week. As for me, you will find me here on Saturday running Vampire the Masquerade Nightfall as choices begin to have consequences for people, for so many people, and things are getting oh so juicy. And on Tuesday we'll be back here for Dark Matter, as we had that wonderful emotional fun relief episode last week, which means we're probably going to die next week. Probably. And we're on Wednesday, I'm over on Tales from the Grim for some Witcher Family of Wraiths. We didn't burn down the village last night. There may have been some. It was a Witcher game. Everyone come watch. It's getting good. But other than that, check my Twitter because I was posted where I'm going to be. And occasionally I publish the games that I write. So check those out, see what you think. Let me know. Have a good one.
Cool. Thanks for coming, Deirdre. Up next is Cleric.
Hey, I'm Cleric. I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord on Twitter and hanging out in Twitch streams. And I play games with my friends on the internet. I love this game. I love these characters. I love this. This is so much fun. I'm loving these relationships. I'm loving getting to know them. I'm loving getting to know Chameleon. She's interesting. So much. My brain is just like, I have a pinned tweet that tells you pretty much where I am throughout the week. But tomorrow we are doing the finale on Encounter Roleplay for Judge Dredd back on the block. It's been almost 4 months of hunting a side judge who has been playing with us, and we are now all trapped in her mind right now, and see what happens. The only thing we know for sure is that Judge Tetley will survive. And if you want to know who Judge Tetley is, you have to come check us out. Next time you'll see me will be on Wednesdays with Jim at Other Doc. Mole is the GM. We are playing Masks. And on that one, I'm using the Nova playbook, playing Meta Warp. And it shows off how versatile this game really is. If you watch both games, it will tell you, you'll see just how versatile this game is and how wonderful it is. I love this game so much. And you can also check me out on Tales from the Grim for Watchmen, where I play the Reverend Bobby Ray Cutler, who is going to bring the God to those godless communists. So check us out. And that's it for me.
All right, this time I'm not going to skip over our GM. And Lily, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Kat, too. Lily, can you tell us who you are, where we can find you?
What about Pope?
We'll do Pope after.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lily. I'm the GM of this game, and I DM a bunch of other games and play in other games. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Just a Little Nerd, and newly on TikTok. You can follow me there. I don't know what I'm gonna do there, but I'll do stuff, and if you follow me, you'll see it. My streaming schedule is going to be on Twitter, so yeah, just follow me there. And I'm super loving this Masks game. I'm still very new to GMing it, so I hope that it was an enjoyable experience for all of us, but I'm having a blast, and I can't wait to do next week's show where we get to stalk the ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
Cool. Thanks for coming. And last but not least is Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Bill on Twitter, Pope World Bill on the Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. If you want to catch more of this particularly silly face, you get to see me a lot in the coming weeks. First, over on Sundays on Matt Have 7's channel at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we get down with Neon and the dreadful beat of DJ Strahd. On Mondays over on Tales from the Grim, you know, that one that keeps popping up, 9 p.m. Eastern, we head to the Weird West and Deadlands, The Road to Desperation. I, too, fight for the world which is in peril on Wednesday nights over at Tales from the Grim at 6 p.m. Eastern in Watchmen, The Port of the Black Freighter. And then Thursdays earlier in the day, you can see me be an absolute disaster spy. Disaster Spy, The Pigeon, on Follow Black Cat's channel at 2 p.m. Eastern for our finale of the Spy game. And then come back here Thursday, join with these useful heroics and masks, these wonderful people, this fantastic cast, this brilliant new GM. And I want to thank all of you who are watching out there. Thank you for joining us, whether it's live in chat, watching on VOD, over on YouTube. You're as much part of the story as we are, and we thank you. Love you all. Take care. See you soon.
Bye, everyone. See you all next week.
Bye.